All right, y'all. This is Michigan Constitutional Crusader. We're out here at the Flint City Hall. There's supposed to be a City Hall meeting tonight, and it's supposed to get pretty wild from what I've been told, so we're here to document it. We'll see what they think. And I'm going to pause this for now. Just wanted to get this intro out of the way, and we'll be back.
To you, because it says 3 in the other one.
Oh, yeah?
Are you rolling?
Yeah, I'm rolling.
Here, get this on there. This is what we're handing the police right here. It's an official notice, and it's all their constitution, their duty to uphold we the people's rights. And then when they don't, we're going to come for that qualified immunity, because I'm fucking tired of the tyranny.
Cool.
It was a very emotional event, it turned out, as people shared their stories of their families and themselves, the deaths in their family, the sicknesses that they secured. One woman talked about a miscarriage, and it was a very cathartic event. And every once in a while, we need to come back and recognize what we have been through. Because the purposes of these commemorations,
You see that? They expect everybody with a camera to stand back here.
I don't. I won't.
and never surrender. Never forget and never surrender. That is the purpose of these events. Now, having said that, a few days later, here comes the Environmental Protection Agency with a bloodshot, another bloodshot to the city of Flint by saying, the emergency is over. How can the emergency be over when we still don't have settlement money? The water is still not safe. The water is still not affordable. There's still much to do infrastructure-wise to get the water system up to par. We still have health issues, and we have asked that residents impacted by the water crisis have health care like they did in Libby, Montana. Y'all look that up. Libby, Montana, Medicare for All. They had a health care crisis. It was included in the Affordable Care Act. But for some reason, we in Flint couldn't get it. Now, we come up here and tell y'all what's on our mind, what are bothering us, and a lot of times we suggest things that fall on deaf ears, like 16 million additional dollars that we had. But this time, because of what the EPA has done, and it has pushed us into further crises, health-wise and quality of life-wise, by them lifting the emergency, I would like to see this council write a letter from this council to the EPA and say that this is not acceptable. And talk about the challenges that we still face here in the city of Flint. You can do that. You've written letters beyond the city limits in the past, and it's time to write another one. You wrote a letter, you put $20 million in the settlement money, but you haven't wrote a letter saying where's the money for the residents. Now that seems like that would be natural. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Sandy Jobin. First of all, I want to announce that Kenneth Miller resigned from the W. And also, I think it's pretty sad that we still have rules for me but not for thee, or rules for thee but not for us. I was at the last meeting and the gentleman sat here and pleaded his faith with the children, stating that he wanted to voice his opinion, and you guys allowed it. But yet, you pick up the box before you even have quorum. And that's all about control. And that's all Flint has ever been about, is controlling the people. And you guys are forgetting that these people voted you in, unless they didn't. And that's why you have nothing to lose, because you're replaced. Maybe they thought they voted you, or they didn't vote you in, but then you guys were replaced by somebody. Now you can take that whichever way you want to. And as far as the recount goes, my understanding, being involved with the recount just recently, is it doesn't matter what the results come out of as far as the recount, whether you find bags that you can't even identify the voters. We found over 1,500 votes that could not be passed. And they said, well, we go back to what the original debate was, or what the original outcome was of that night. So why do a recount? All you're doing is charging somebody to have that recount done. And I don't know what the deal is as far as that third ward seat, but man, there's something riding on there. There's something big riding on there, because you guys are doing everything you possibly can to get this other, Shonda, I don't even know her name. But, you know, the big focus should be is, where are the children? Yeah. Where are the missing children? I have listened to story after story, and I was at the water crisis dinner or thing just a few weeks ago. It brought me to tears to hear the story of the mother that had the son left down at the hospital in Ann Arbor. Left there with no identification, no nothing. Brought there from McLaren Hospital because they didn't want to treat him with Legionnaire's disease. And then told the mother to just let him go. Gave her morphine to do it. What the fuck is going on? I am so sick and tired of this society. And I don't care. I am doing my First Amendment right.
Your time is up.
I am doing my First Amendment right. You cannot take my phone.
You are asked to be sit down.
I didn't say fuck you. I said
Yeah,
what is going on?
I heard it. Please sit down.
Really? That's the only time you pay attention. You are nothing but a treason traitor. You are a treason traitor.
Point of order. You asked her repeatedly to sit down, that she didn't say no word, and she didn't read the meeting. I'm gonna say it again, I don't know if you heard it. Yeah, so you asked her repeatedly to sit down.
That is true, I will give her one. Next speaker.
The next speaker is Allison Montgomery Littlejohn.
Point of order.
What's your point?
So she submitted her information.
That's what I was going to just ask. My understanding is that she had not put the box been picked up. Is that correct, Madam Clerk?
She submitted her information.
Go ahead.
Point of order.
What's your point?
So, I just want to be clear, because according to our council rules, you cannot proceed, and you cannot put your name in the box after the meeting has started, because this happened before. So what is the rationale for letting this slide this time? Madam Clerk?
There was a question about the quorum, but the information is in the box. But there was a question about starting the meeting without a quorum.
Point of order. What's your point?
Madam Clerk, what was the question about starting a meeting without a quorum?
Madam Clerk.
The question was, how can the council
council have a meeting when there's no quorum, start the meeting without the quorum, and there was a question about whether or not it was legal.
And was it found to be legal?
There's a legal opinion that says that what council has been doing.
So when the meeting started, was her slip in the box?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, go ahead.
Thank you, Ms. Davina. My name is Allison Montgomery Littlejohn, and I came here to address my concern about the EPA's recent decision to lift the Flint water emergency order. In an ABC 12 News article dated May 19, 2025, it was stated that since the EPA's emergency order was issued in 2016, Flint has made substantial progress, including testing below lead action levels since July 2016 and replacing more than 97% of its lead service lines. Additionally, yesterday evening, the following organizations, NRDC, ACLU, Concerned Pastors for Social Action, and What Are You Fighting For, sponsored a celebration at a local church because Flint is quote unquote on the verge of completing the court-ordered pipe replacement program. These two actions contradict Flint residents' complaints about having discolored, bad-smelling water and corroded pipes. That's right. So I was going to speak more about this, but I am so pissed off. Councilwoman Judy Priestley, how dare you? How dare you start a meeting with only 3 council people present to stop people from speaking at this podium? How dare you? No down, no class. The next time that casket come to Flint, maybe it should be marched in front of your house. Amen. Since you are... Thank you. I'm just so disappointed. Very low class of you, Miss Judy. Very low class. I took PTO to come down to this meeting from my job. So I made a sacrifice to be here. The least you could do is respect that. Additionally, Councilwoman Dr. Liddell Lewis, I do not give you permission to dishonor me or disrespect me. Don't you ever in your life stare at me in an intimidating way while I'm sitting in the audience. Don't you ever do that ever to me again. You got away with it a few years ago at Flint Community School Board Education Meeting. It won't happen again. Check yourself. I don't know who raised you, but you better get it together. And you too, Miss Judy Priestley. Get you some morals and a conscience. That part. How dare you?
It's funny. It's funny.
That was the final speaker for this meeting.
That was the
Down
final
over there,
speaker. It's now
sniffing.
time for council response. Members of the council shall have 2 minutes to respond to each. I'm going to read it, sorry, it's doing off my memory. Council members may respond once to all public speakers only after all public speakers have spoken. An individual council member's response shall be limited to 2 minutes. Is there anyone who'd like to address?
Madam Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. So to all the speakers and those who could not get your names put in the box, you need to make sure you support someone for that 3rd ward who will uphold your First Amendment. It's just going to be a problem. I do want to say this. When the EPA, number one, stated that they were lifting the emergency and it was a celebration, it is not a celebratory time. I'm still asking for the list of the homes that service lines weren't changed, and I've not gotten it. And this is over a year and a half. I've not gotten it. Because I will knock the doors, and I've stated, for my ward and any of the other ones if I have to. Haven't gotten it. So if we don't have all the service lines replaced, we do not have our, we had had violations before. Our administrative consent order, the violations, these still stand. still haven't figured out how we're gonna pay for this list, because he's now resigned, our DPW manager. He said we didn't have funding for it. Then we have the water distribution optimization plan. Two crucial plans to make sure Flint has safe drinking water in our infrastructure, and we don't have the dollars. So I'm not understanding why it's a celebratory moment. It's not for me. When I took over the weekend even, and yesterday, 2 calls about people who need to have their service lines changed. Flint has got some issues, but it gets down to who's in whose pocket. These plans are they're not funded. They are required by our administrative consent order. You can download it, it's 177 pages. I've talked about it numerous times, and it's something that's serious, because that water flows everything.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Anyone else?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much. So I just want to highlight a couple of things that have happened in the city of Flint. I am definitely excited to report that the inaugural Flint Litter League that took place on the north side collected over 42,000 pounds of litter on the north side. So that is definitely a major feat. So we're looking forward to taking this Litter League to the entire city, and I can only imagine what we can do with more teams and more boots on the ground. So a special thank you again to the Sean Johnson cleaning crew, to Millennium's Blight Squad, to big brothers, big sisters of Virginia City County, Greater Flint, don't want to mess that up, as well as to the Maid Institute for making all of this possible. A lot of dedicated volunteers. And so we also had the Silence the Violence Walk, which is taking place this Saturday at 1:30 p.m. at the Sylvester Broom Center. So all residents that are interested in silencing the violence are interested, please come and participate. Your participation is needed in your city. And then lastly, we are having a tree planting party. We have joined up with Climate Resilient Flint, and you know, all the trees that were knocked down during this inclement weather, we're looking at planting brand new trees, healthy trees for our environment. Somebody just yelled now.
Please be respectful as we discuss up here. Go ahead, keep going.
Thank you. So, anyway, so the tree planting party is taking place. We had 2 so far, but the next 2, they're going to happen at Cooper Avenue, Cyrus Park. So we are planting 33 trees. If you would like to help us drop those beautiful trees, please come there at 10:30, or you can contact me for details. And then the last place is going to be June the 7th at the Friends of Hasselgreen Park on Home Avenue, where we will be dropping 32 trees. So come and join us as we help make our neighborhood beautiful.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Anyone else?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
Just a couple of things. Congratulations on the Litter League. That is awesome. We definitely need to address blight and have things cleaned up. The north end and the east side could certainly benefit from something like the Litter League happening all year round. And so congratulations on that. That was the brainchild of Dr. Lewis in the second ward. So thank you for helping to clean up our city. I do want to also address, and you know, as a conservation girly, I do believe trees should be planted, but I also want to be mindful. I'm not saying they're not, because I know the way in which they're planting trees now is kind of like a cluster small forest thing, but part of the reason we're running into the issue with our trees now is that they were all planted at the same time, same type of tree, same age, and so that's when you end up 30, 40 years down the line with trees falling down or they're dying all at once and all over. And so while I do applaud the efforts of what's happening with the trees, because I understand that they're being put in kind of like a forest concentration, I do want us as a city to just be mindful in the future when we're planting trees to maybe do different ages, different types of trees, different locations, so that way 30 years from now we won't have what we have now every single time there's a storm. To Ms. Claire McClinton, I believe the mayor did write a letter asking them to release the money. You did. Correct. I'm gonna finish my sentence because this is not a back and forth, because I was about to say that you were correct in the fact that healthcare for all should have happened here in Flint. And that should have been something that everyone should have pushed for, was healthcare for all. And then I also want to acknowledge the fact that we all found out about the EPA lifting the emergency the same time everyone else did. We found out in the news. It would have been nice to have a conversation to be able to address some concerns, but Ms. Claire, like you said, we need to write a letter. Thank you.
Is there anyone else? Seeing none, I will address Mr. Woodson's question about the Mott Village. Mott is a separate taxing authority, and it was voted on by the residents of the Genesee Intermediate School District. So we do not approve putting their millage on. It is by law. So their debt service and their operating were both voted on by the residents of this community, not just the city, but it's the Genesee Intermediate School District, which is the Mott's service area. So if you live within the Genesee Intermediate School District and you own property, you will be taxed automatically. No local unit will vote to put that on the tax bill because it is already. Thank you. Going on, energy.
Madam Chair.
Yeah, go ahead.
So before we go on, I would like to have a point of order. So we do have a gentleman with the tripod there.
It's a single, it's not a tripod.
Monopod.
In the rules, it say tripod, not single. And plus he's holding it, and it's not on the floor.
I have already asked the clerk, I'm waiting for her response on it.
Point of order.
First Amendment.
I believe the council member was talking to the chair, and there was an audience member speaking out of turn.
I take a
Oh
one.
my God.
All right, you can have her.
Thank you.
Request for information.
What's your request?
Y'all, please, can we have a decent meeting with respect? Yeah. Are we waiting for a legal opinion from the attorney or from?
I'm asking the clerk. I've asked the clerk.
You can, I'm just pulling up the resolution that was adopted.
Pardon?
You can continue, and I'm
Okay.
just pulling up the resolution that was
Okay,
adopted.
thank you very much. All right, so it's not time, what is your request?
I'm gonna say a point of order. Through you two, she's waiting on,
What's your point of order?
my point of order is regarding the resolution, to the city, because of this, we are waiting.
Your point of order is always to the chair.
To whoever today. So, the.
Excuse me, point of order.
What's your point?
The colleague from the sixth ward is not allowed to disrespect the chair. That's the reason.
Oh my God.
Go ahead, Mr.
My question is, did you, the tripod ordinance that was passed, it was for a tripod. I don't believe it said singly or freestanding. And I think we may, well, I don't know, she's asking the city attorney, because I believe through you to the city attorney, I believe it says tripod,
No, ma'am, you cannot address the city attorney.
Oh, y'all are responsible.
I'm waiting for the clerk's response.
Okay,
She will
I'm
get back
asking
with
you,
me.
okay, I'm asking you, do you know if the ordinance said, or through you to the chair or to the attorney? Are you telling me I can't speak to the city attorney? Or asking a
Not as
question?
a point of order, you must address the chair.
Okay, request for information then.
What is your request?
Request for you to the city attorney. I would like to know the tripod.
Point of order.
What is your?
That's not how this works.
No.
Being a comment.
Go ahead. Madam,
Listen.
excuse me.
Hold on.
The clerk is back with an answer.
I still have the floor.
But I just took it away
Before
from
she,
you.
you know what, I'm gonna tell y'all what. Y'all, you're gonna be here by yourself today. And I'm not even talking to her down there, but I'm asking you as the chair.
Point of order.
What's your point?
She is
I'm talking
taking
to
the
the
floor,
chair.
use the privilege
I'm
motion.
asking like you did, I said point of order, you're intervening, you're taking.
Point of
the-
order,
What's your
you
point?
already stated the point of order to the chair, and point of order was denied, so we're waiting.
No, I did a request for information.
And I deny that, and the clerk just, Clerk, what does the sign say? ordinance.
Thank you.
What does the resolution say? Madam Clerk, are you prepared to answer that at this point? Or shall we continue to the consent agenda?
Nobody bothers nobody.
Okay, well, it's now time for the consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved.
It's been moved by the Councilman Second Ward. Is there support?
Total separation.
There's been a total separation. Huh? Of course. Okay, the first resolution is resolution 250131-T, regarding the wage standard city construction projects. Is there a motion?
Motion to keep it fine.
Motion by Councilman in the 8th Ward to keep in finance. Is there support?
Don't smash your
Is
head.
there support? That was by the Councilman in the 9th Ward.
It's a pain in the ass to get that zipper open.
Resolution 250131.
Sitting over it right here.
No.
No.
Yes.
Looks on the top there.
No.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Mr. Jerry?
Here, hold this.
Yes.
Vote is 3 yes, 3 no.
The vote is 3 yes, 3 no. That motion fails. I'll entertain another motion.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
I'll just put a motion on the floor to remove that from council.
Point of order. I could not hear her, she's speaking her mic clear, please, I couldn't understand.
She made a motion to send to council.
Okay, thank you.
So the councilwoman in the 2nd Ward has made a motion to send to council. Is there support? Is
No
there
support.
support?
No support.
Support. It's been supported by the councilwoman in the 7th Ward. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so, in case the colleagues didn't know, the city attorney's office has lost some attorneys, and I want to make changes to this, and I can't get answers to it, so if you want to kill it tonight, let's do it, let's just kill it. But I will not be supporting it in its current form.
You can spin that around
Any other discussion?
too. No, I'm saying the phone.
Any other discussion?
No.
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
Thank you. So,
You're gonna break it.
we have no clue what's happening. The only thing we know is that the Councilman City Board told him to separate everything on the agenda, then he did so. And so we
You're
don't
gonna just
have.
break it off. You gotta spin it back together.
Even the 6th Ward said nothing to me about sewer.
I mean, just like you didn't call me a monkey or jump up, or have a
Oh, go to the race car, really, you're getting hammered. What are the odds?
It sounds like that, it's a knowledge that.
Point of order.
What is your point?
Fucking attitude.
Okay, I'll give you a couple of points. One is page 26, section 3-0104, that you must respect and show decorum for your colleague and also the resident. You're not doing, I'm not being disrespectful, but you're being very hasty. Now, my next point is Robert's Rules 43.21, speaking to my motive. I absolutely did not ask him to separate, so she is a big liar. A big liar. I didn't ask him to do that. Did not-
Request for information, what is your request? I was wondering if my colleague in the 5th Ward knows, I heard her ask if he was gonna separate, and then he turned around and said total separation.
No, that is not saying separate. You know the
You
difference.
just
I
said
didn't say
you said it.
separate. I can argue.
Thank you.
Got you too.
People, please, I did.
Tanya's for we the people,
Order
right?
out of order, so go ahead, Madam. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. And so we're hearing that, we're missing an attorney, and because of that, talking about killing this, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, what my colleagues know, pertains to this resolution. So that was a big reason why I had no clue on why he decided to leave this here.
Yeah.
So I had no clue. So I would definitely like to hear more during the time of discussion because my colleagues have that information. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Madam Chair, so generally, what happens is, and I see guys are late, so we're off to a not so civil start. Generally what happens is that we do have discussion so that people can express, hey, this shouldn't go because they want to fix something or they have questions or something of the sort, so that everyone has an opportunity to support their reasoning for wanting it to stay here. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion in the first round? Any other discussion in the first round?
It's not a point of order, Madam Chair. So I'm just checking in with the clerk about cause I see we have a tripod to join us in the front row.
It's not on the floor, man. I saw you on the floor, man.
Sir, you want just 2 hours out of order? Go ahead. Thanks.
Madam Chair, the resolution that was adopted by the council on May 29th, 2024. Resolution adopting a designated videography area in the city council chambers, freestanding camera stands. The resolved paragraph states that all use of freestanding camera stands, including but not limited to tripods, camera stands, and other physical devices used to support or elevate cameras, cell phones, or other video recording devices is restricted to an area designated by the city clerk in the northeast corner of the city council chambers during those meetings. Persons in violation of this resolution will be deemed to be acting in a disorderly fashion and shall be ordered to leave the meeting. And any unattended video equipment shall be deemed abandoned. So if there is any stands or anything used, a physical device to support the camera, then it is in violation of the resolution.
So I'm going to ask the 2 gentlemen in front who are having stands that hold their cameras to either go back to the videography area or to remove themselves.
Request for information.
What's your request?
Did it say freestanding?
Yes, it did. Not freestanding if I gotta hold it.
It's not free, those are not
It
freestanding.
also says, or anything that elevates.
It's not being illuminated above their head.
Madam Clerk, can you read that part again, please?
It's not blocking anybody's view. What are these disabled?
If I let go of it, it falls on the floor.
A point of order.
City Attorney, First Amendment.
Yes, so we have the gentleman in the ninth ward is speaking to the colleagues' motive, saying that we don't want them here. We just want everybody to be compliant to the same rule. So that's what
Your actions are
keep it out of order.
You are out of order, Mr. Jarrett.
You know what? I got a dying relative at a hospital tonight. Call me out of order. Give me a second so I can go home and be with my family.
So, Madam Chair, is he releasing this meeting? The guy that just. And then, what about that? Go ahead.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, could you please read the part again about the freestanding and elevation?
Mr. Jarrett has a request for information.
Oh, I'm sorry, did not hear you, Mr. Jarrett. Go ahead, Ms.
Says all use of freestanding camera stands, including but not limited to tripods, camera stands, and other physical devices used to support or elevate cameras, cell phones, or other video recording devices is restricted to an area to be designated by the city clerk in the northeast corner of the city council chambers.
Okay, seeing that those are used to elevate the cameras, You must go back to the videography area or
They are not
yourself from the
freestanding.
meeting or what?
It says freestanding.
They're not freestanding. It falls if I let go of it.
Anything that's freestanding that is used to elevate.
It's ridiculous.
Point of order. Yes. I did give that to the city attorney so that he could take a look. He may need time to look at it. Because he did not have that before. So, I mean, I wish that we just go over the meeting while they're figuring out.
I know how to file lawsuits.
Oh, you did?
Go ahead, violate my First Amendment.
Okay, I'll rescind it.
Okay, we will pause it on that, but I am asking you to remove yourself as soon as we get it. Go ahead, this is the, discussion, you're at the first round on resolution 250131. Members speaking were, Mr. Pfeiffer, Dr. Lewis, and Mrs. Shattuck. Is there any other discussion on this resolution in the first round? Seeing none, I'll entertain any discussion on the second round. Anyone would like to speak in the second round?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I heard that the rationale for not moving forward with this was because of the lack of one attorney in the law office. So through you to the Councilman and A Board, so how does that hold a bearing on this resolution? I mean, we can laugh, but it's a city business, so that's fine. So the Councilman and A Board.
Mr. Woodson, you may leave. He got a warning earlier.
Y'all listen to low ass people, man, for real. Y'all set the tone.
Is this under threat of arrest? Is this
ain't worried about this.
Madam Chair.
This is your warning.
Is that under threat of arrest for me?
I ain't worried about this.
Possible.
Y'all ignorant.
I'm asking for
This
you.
is your warning.
That's fine.
Y'all ignorant as hell, man. Y'all set the tone, man. Talk worried about a fucking stand, you stupid motherfuckers.
Is there any other discussion in the second round?
So, as I was saying, I didn't finish my time. Yeah, it's not a problem. So I asked the Councilman A Board, what was the link between the two so we can have an understanding. And according to our rules, you actually request through the chair for the information so it can help you decide your next vote. And that's exactly what I was doing. And so since the Councilman and the A Board refused to engage per his requested duty as a councilman, now we don't have information, and we're sitting over here mad. This is when we talk about personalities taking over the job. We can't afford to have this happen. We must be consistent with the rules, and we must work with colleagues. If we're not gonna work with colleagues, please continue to stay home, take another vacation, get absent again. But those that come, we're here to do the work. And giggling and laughing about the work not taking place is not funny. So I would like to definitely compel my colleague in the A Board. You've been missing for several weeks. Please go and take care of your loved ones.
Wasn't the colleague absent in the last meeting? Did she call me absent?
Well, thank you. And so, if you want to talk about that point of order, I had a conversation with the chair. They knew why I was not here. Okay, so we must make sure that we keep the main thing the main thing. The main thing is Mr. Pfeiffer not stating what one lawyer being minus from the legal department have to do with not moving this resolution forward to council. I don't understand. And so, since I don't understand, I can't be in support of keeping this in finance. So I'm going to vote that we move this to council, and hopefully my colleagues will get on board and supply the information so we can move as a body, as a functioning body. But again, if I'm not here, I watch the meeting and I know what's going on. So I encourage my other colleagues to do the same. Thank you.
Thank you. Request for, I'm gonna do a point of order, because you need to according to our charter, and there's a lot of disrespect, page 26, section 3-104, it speaks of decorum. She doesn't have decorum. And you need to warn her. She's talking about monkeys and and making allegations. That's not what, in our charter, it states that we must be respectful to the constituents and to each other.
Ms. Burns, I did call that for the order which discussed the monkey issue out of order. I did call her out of order for that. So, any other discussion in the second round?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
So I believe we need to go ahead and this is the prevailing wage. I think, never mind, let's go ahead.
Is there anyone from the administration who can address this resolution? On the prevailing wage, is there anyone from the administration who can address the resolution? Seeing that there isn't anyone at this moment, I will make the motion to keep this in finance. Is there support? Support. Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded to keep this resolution in finance. To vote.
Oh wait, here she is.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, we've already made the resolution.
I withdraw my support.
Oh, you're gonna withdraw your support. I called, yeah, I've already called for the vote. Okay, Madam Clerk. It's all right, thank you, Lauren.
Yep.
Dr. Lewis?
I don't know what we're voting for. Okay, got it. No.
Ms. Priestley? Yes. Ms. Whippy Carter is absent. Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Mr. Shedd?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Mr. Allen is absent. The vote is 5 yes, 1 no. The vote is 5 yes, 1 no, that will stay in finance. The next resolution is 250140, reallocation of ARPA funds, job training.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
I would like an opinion from the lawyer.
We already called the vote.
She hadn't even started with roll call though. And so I'm just asking if I could have withdrawn my support.
City attorney, she's got everything. She asked if she could have withdrawn her support even though I called for the vote.
My question, Madam Chair, was even though the clerk had started the vote, the roll call.
So the clerk had already started the roll call. She had not started, but I had called for the vote.
Right, but that's my question to the attorney.
Could she withdraw her second on that motion?
I'm sorry, but I didn't hear what the question was.
Okay, the question is that after I called for the vote, Ms. Rawlings said that she could address the resolution, and Ms. Michette wanted to withdraw her second of my motion to keep this in finance. And I said that I had already called the vote, and I said we were going to vote on this. And she was wondering if she could withdraw her second on that motion.
I believe you already called for the vote.
Yeah.
So I think that would help.
So once I call for the vote, you can't withdraw. Okay, thank you. Okay, so the next resolution is 250140, reallocation of ARPA funds, youth job training. City of Flint Second Clean and Safe Summer Program. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
I move that we send this to council.
It's been moved by the councilwoman in the second ward to send to council. Is there support?
Support.
It's been supported by the councilwoman in the seventh ward. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? discussion? Hearing
Madam
none?
Chair.
Go ahead, Mr. Jarrett.
Do you have someone from, staff to speak to this?
Is there anyone, hello staff, is there anyone who can address the Safe and Clean Summer Program? Time's ticking, come on. You know, there is so much noise in the back that we have trouble hearing, so can I please ask for people to be quiet? Thank you, go ahead.
Thank you, through you, Chair, Speaker. Where are we with identifying potential fiduciaries in that, with this?
My understanding, and I'm speaking on behalf of Ms. Sparks Green, again, unfortunately, she's unable to be here this evening, but my understanding is that she has talked to a couple of potential fiduciaries, which I believe she's already, I understand she's already had a conversation with you directly about that, or been in communication with you about that?
That's, there was pending information, that's what I'm trying to get
Right.
understand now.
Right, so that's what I know is that she has been talking to those fiduciaries that were mentioned. From that, I don't know if there's an agreement in place or nothing, I don't know.
And do you know who those fiduciaries are that she's been speaking to?
Whomever you mentioned, she just said she's been talking to whoever you have mentioned.
Okay.
As a idea of a potential fiduciary.
Okay, so to be transparent,
Sure,
is what I want to be, and make sure that
I haven't spoken to them, so I can't speak to the, I haven't had no conversations with them. I'm just standing in and I got a text message from her today.
I mentioned to Ms. Sparks Green that it might be conducive to the program to look at adding WIOA as a potential support sponsor or fiduciary for this offering. They could provide potential fiduciary or fiduciary responsibilities as such, and there might be some additional supports that they could lend. So I sort of pointed her in that direction, and I'd also stated she may want to get in contact with my college and their workforce and
I know my college was mentioned at
Okay.
some point. I
So,
get all that, yes.
I wanted to know if we were any further along with identifying who may be the fiduciary for the program at large, but we're not any.
I know there's only been a conversation to a couple of different ones, but nothing is set in stone, because again, nobody's going to agree to do something that's not been approved by council, which is unfortunate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any other discussion? On the first round, go ahead, Mr. Franklin.
Not only fiduciary, but I want to know who the recipient organizations are. Fiduciary hasn't been established, the recipient organizations certainly haven't been established. Is that a correct statement, Mr. Van?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
I said, if the fiduciary hasn't been identified, then the recipient organizations certainly haven't been identified. Is that a correct statement?
Yeah, that's not standard practice that I'm aware of, that we would identify the potential recipients before the council would agree on the funding.
Okay, well,
I know we do in grant applications, we have sub-recipients.
so why would this be any different?
Because a sub-recipient is applying to a grant, where a team applying for a grant of the federal government, where a team applying for a grant, they're going to be a sub-recipient on that project. Here, it's a bit different, and the money's a lot more involved. There's a process that takes maybe 6 months to be able to apply for that, and it's part of the requirements from the federal government that we have sub-recipients on the grant.
Well, this is ARPA money, so this is ARPA.
Right.
This is ARPA money, so this should be even more of.
Right, but with the ARPA money, all due respect, ARPA money, the city council identified the buckets originally. And that's why people apply for it. There is no bucket here for anyone to apply for it. The 324,000 hasn't been approved, so nobody's applying for anything.
And it's not on the ARPA budget as well.
but it doesn't exist. It doesn't, you haven't approved it, so it doesn't exist. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Until you approve it, it doesn't, it's nothing.
Said it again.
So, I hear what you're saying.
Right.
I do. But once we approve this without recipients, then the mayor cherry picks his organizations and his friends, and that's who the money goes to.
Right on.
Or do quid pro quos, that's who the money goes to.
I'm not here to speak about the mayor.
I understand.
I'm here in my capacity, and I was called up to speak. It's unfair that you would get political with me like that. All I'm saying is the money doesn't exist, so because you haven't approved it. Once you approve it, then we can identify potential recipients.
I'm not going to, thank you. I'm not going to approve it to then find out after the fact that my vote was used to pay off friends and family. I'm not going to do it.
They popped it off.
Is there any other discussion in the first round? Any other discussion? Go ahead.
Thank you. So seeing that we had a lot of young people take advantage of this last year and being able to interact with them last year as they worked at various sites, it's very disheartening because school is about to be out and organizations don't want to be bothered with the City Council. They're doing the good work already. A lot of us have worked with them, hand in hand. A lot of us have seen the great things that they're doing. So while they're out here working with the youth, they don't have time to sit here and waste time trying to apply for something that people are going to shoot down because of false proclaimed agendas. Unless you can prove, everything is about what you can prove. If you can prove that the mayor is doing this for friends and family, bring this before this body. Bring it. But what? Right. So I believe that I want my seconds back.
Go ahead. Make it 4 minutes.
Law for the layman, we got all that proof.
Sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so, unless you can bring this before this body, we will not have accusations like this. I'll give you a great example. Just like the monkey word. No. Just like someone flinching at you. Just like.
No. She's speaking to motives about.
I'm not speaking to motives.
I have the floor right
How is this germane? How is this germane?
Point of order. One, she's not being germane. Number two, she's speaking to motives that did not happen. So you need to correct her.
Thank you. So my point is, everything that I just said can be pulled up on videotape, just like St. Mark pastor admitting that he feeds people outside of the city of Flint, how he's using the money. So everything that I'm saying,
she's not being germane. St. Mark has nothing to do with this. But her calling people bitches is a true fact.
Thank you. And again, we have colleagues that threaten us with her attendance, continuing to lie. And so the point is, pull out the film, where's the footage?
She's done.
We have the footage for everything that we're talking about. We get up out of our seats when we're caught up and we don't have anything else to say. The point is, we cannot make those false allegations on anyone, the mayor included, unless you have the proof. So if you don't have proof coming from our elected seats, and we're quick to talk about the Robert Rule that speaks about speaking to motives, don't do it. Because you're speaking to motives and you don't know. He's not on this body, but he still is the mayor. And if you can't provide us, just like you won't provide me with the point of information that I politely asked, don't spit things that are not true. Do not speak mistruth, knowing that they're not true. Just like she didn't tell you not to separate everything, just like you said we called you monkey in the middle. Let's go ahead and stick to things that we can prove. And what we can prove is that the summer youth program has benefited so many youth in this city that we had just as many, we turned away just as many as we accepted. I went to a listening session at Southwestern Academy, and every single youth said they wanted a youth job. We can sit up here and talk, and a lot of us don't even go into the schools. We talk about it, but we don't go into there. A lot of us were in there, and those that are in there, those young people said that they want youth jobs. They do. So if we are, and they're residents of the city, so if we are supposed to be, let me stop my time.
I'm hearing all kinds of yelling out, and I'm going to start issuing more warnings. So I'm asking you, please, to allow us to conduct our business. Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, because this conduct will not be accepted at the Board of Commissioners. They would not do it. So we need to set a precedent that you will not and cannot do that here. But my point is, the youth spoke out and said with their voices, we want youth jobs. The people on the north end, and I trust people all over the city want youth jobs. But I know on behalf of the second ward, they called me and they told me, I have monthly meetings, and I hear directly from the second ward. And they said they want their neighbors, they want their grandkids, children, nieces and nephews with youth jobs. For us to keep stalling this is preposterous, and it makes no sense. And we're doing the residents a disservice. So as we sit up here and laugh and giggle and think this cute and do this for click, likes, and shares, I'm doing this for the people that I vowed to do this for. Otherwise, I could do something else. But since I'm here,
please call the time point of order.
Go ahead.
The young lady with the blonde hair and the security yelled out. I believe Miss Claire McLean also yelled out.
Yeah, and I've been watching her, and next time she will get a warning. Go ahead.
I mean, this is just unfortunate. We got grown people acting like kids when we're trying to talk about youth jobs. Now, don't say you care about the youth when you clap and you support this kind of foolishness. Shame on every single one of you that vote against youth jobs. Shame on every single one of you that are carrying on acting. I mean, now we see why a lot of the kids act the way they do. What an example we have. So we are looking forward to the colleagues that's doing what they do. But youth will have jobs this summer.
Don't shame Councilman Dennis for wanting
Excuse me,
accountability.
this is your warning. This is your second warning. You are removed from this meeting.
Oh, is this under threat of arrest?
Go ahead.
I've been waiting for this, is it?
You are removed from this meeting.
You're telling me that I'm removed from this meeting? I'm forced to go?
Yes.
Is this under threat of arrest?
Point of order.
This is a First Amendment protected activity.
According to the Disorderly Persons City Code subsection, it states that any person that persists in disrupting this meeting will be in violation of the Flint City Code section 3110, disorderly conduct, assault and battery, and disorderly persons, and will be subject for arrest for a misdemeanor. Any person who prevents the peaceful and orderly conduct of any meeting will be given one warning. If they persist in disrupting the meeting, that individual will be subject to arrest. Violators will be removed from the meeting. That is my point.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion still in the first round? Is there any other discussion in the first round?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
So that is
Getting pretty juicy in here. Figured I better go live.
horrible. She's offensive. But I do want to say the shame is last year. How are you? I know you seem a little irritated today, and it is very hostile in here. It is very.
It's hard as staff to sit here, to be here all day, work, and then come here and then things get prolonged. We don't know if we're going to have come to work with quorum. We don't know what's going to happen. I have a babysitter I'm paying at home. We all have things going on outside of this. All we're trying to do as staff, excuse me for being transparent, is just do our job. That's all we're trying to do.
Respect. And as a mom who has had my children are grown, I completely understand. You know, and I've seen your little one here was very well behaved. So I do want to say this. So last year we did have the names of the organizations. This year we don't, and that is a problem for me. I would like to see who we're giving money to, and I will not approve anything unless I see who it's going to. One, because we have a Lion Bishop who said, I brought people here from, let me read the post, a whole post that I don't even know how to do the boots on the ground. It just happens to be her Lion Bishop. And so, when she stated, and this is why, because I don't believe him teaching people faith when he can't even tell the truth. So if he's getting it, I'm not supporting it. If the name's on it, then I'm good. Because he could actually, I must speak up. This is embarrassing and out of order on every level. For a city council member to orchestrate a line dance or a city council meeting is ridiculous. To bus people in from Chicago to disrespect our city government is a huge dereliction of duty. So much important city business going on undone because members of the council, less than 50% attendance. This madness must stop. My attendance is not less than 50%. But I'm not going to give money to a bishop who tells lies and puts it on social media and then blocks you when you're not coming. I won't do that. So you guys can get the organizations, put them there like you did. Like, we're not asking you to do something that you didn't do prior last year, and you put them on our agendas with the same names, which when it first came back up, it was the same organizations that were on there. We didn't receive anything different. And when questioned, now we don't have any. So if you can get the organizations, because if I am a nonprofit, I'm going to let you know that I'm interested. We don't even have names. I will not blindly vote yes on something that we don't even have a name on. And we don't. And that's just not fair. And I think it's also unfair to say people will not do it because they did it last year. All of the organizations last year put their names on there. Now, if the mayor chooses to do his 75,000 and under, which seems to be his go-to, then that's his choice. He can do it 3 times, which will pay for it. But without names, and we did it last year because we can't say, I think it's wrong to say, as council, sign this blank check and we'll figure it out later. That same thing happened with them golf courses, that we paying them $72,000. We don't know how much they're taking in liquor sales. We don't know about the marijuana parties that they have there. The city's not getting any of that revenue. What? So I'm just saying, if you can get the names, because not having the names, I don't see, or certain council people not having them, it's not going to be approved. Give me some names, then we can look at it. We did it last year. There shouldn't be a problem doing it again this year, putting the names. If they're, you got them. Last year we had enough that knew and they got their money. They got it. So it should be this year, but slipping it through, and I'm not saying that it's you, Seamus, that's doing it, but it seems to be very disingenuous to not put the names on there and saying, you better sign it, or we're gonna call a press conference and call you obstructionists, call you terrorists, and say council doesn't get anything done, because that's what the mayor does. He's done it repeatedly to the council members that he doesn't like in the news. He repeatedly goes after the city council. If you have this up here, we can approve this, maybe we're not sure about this organization. We don't have any organization to even deny right now. Not one. And I know it's not you. And that way I understand.
Request for information.
What's your request?
Didn't she just deny what was that, Pastor Margaret's church? Not church, wait, the nonprofit? Because he just said, she just said that we don't have any organization to deny. And she just
there is no name on here. He had, then I'm gonna have a little time back because the clock was a ticking.
Yeah, go ahead and put it back to 10 seconds.
Okay, no, stop the clock. And we write it.
Go ahead, Ms. Cruz.
Listen, we don't have any. No one, you have not given us one name. If you give us some names, I don't think we should be using tax dollars to let Bishop Martin teach people about faith. When you can't tell the truth.
So, I think that has actually been stated by Ms. Sparks several times, that it is increasingly difficult to get people to want to be a part of the program simply because there's no guarantee that there will be a program. And so there has been outreach to multiple organizations, but again, their response has been the fact that, are we sure we're going to have a program? I do agree with you about the fact that it is deeply unfair for anyone to make this political, or any of the sort when you are simply up here trying to explain a program. If you would like to give us some more information, I know you've already talked several different times on this, so go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just, again, there seems to be a lot of stuff going on been said here, but ultimately, the things that's not been mentioned much is the youth, and this is all about just getting youth work.
Right.
Again, whatever the politics aside, this is all about getting new jobs for the summer. I was program director for the CVIPI program, and in that capacity, I had great opportunity to see the need in reducing violence in the city. And one way of trying to reduce violence is to have jobs for youth, jobs for young people, and this is a great opportunity for that. And we hear a lot about the entities that they're worried about funding, but I don't hear a lot being said about the youth, and that's what this is about, giving youth jobs. Like I said, I have 3 kids. I would love when they're older to have opportunities like this, living in Flint, to have a summer job, keep them busy in the summer. I won't be worried about them. So,
and I think that you have brought it back to what is important. We have kids who are asking for summer employment, who are asking for something to do this summer, who are asking to positively contribute to society, while also making lifetime experiences and learning new skills. We have people who come up here all the time and say, hey, the youth are in trouble. We need you all to do something for them. We need help. We need help. And we did this program last year. It was very successful to the point where the administration had to come back and say, hey, there are more youth that would like to be employed. And we had to go round 2 last year. And so now that we're doing this year, I think this was introduced early on enough for us to be past this point. I think one of the things, unfortunately, that happens, and you have the kids now being caught up in it, is the fact that people wait until they get to meetings to do the work and do their job, when our jobs are all day, every day. Even though we're supposed to be considered part-time, we have this information, we have access to ask questions. I think another thing that also should be pointed out is that if there are some organizations that council trusts, that maybe council should send those suggestions to the mayor, because what happens there is it can easily be flipped and said, well, you're sending them because they're doing quid pro quo with you, right? And we don't have any proof of any of that. That can easily happen on the flip side. And so I just want us to be mindful and focus on the fact that there are youth who need these jobs. We know that in Flint, summertime comes and anything can happen. And so the best thing we can do to protect them is to guarantee them somewhere to be during the day, guarantee them some responsibility, guarantee them something to look forward to. And I urge my colleagues that there are some organizations that they send those to Ms. Shelley Sparks and say, hey, take a look at some of these organizations that do work that can give the youth an opportunity. I know you wanted to say something?
Yeah, that was my question is, and I hear that there's this concern around no names, but my question is, in the event that we do somehow find entities that are interested, is the expectation then that we put that on that resolution that they have to come to council before council? Will there be guarantees that there will be a quorum that night, that when they come, they'll actually, things will happen?
No, I hear you. The goal is always moving. We don't know. The goal is always moving. The post is always something different. But it's, we care, we want it done, but we're going to move the post again. We don't know. What we do know is that the youth need
creating jobs. There's something that has to be done this summer. This is the city's opportunity to help families and help residents. If there are some organizations that council members think would be good for the youth to be aligned with, that we give those suggestions in order for the youth to be aligned with said organization, so that we're not holding up this process. Students get out of school in a couple of weeks here and we have nothing for them. So I just want us to be clear that this is the holdup right now.
Thank you. Any other discussion on the only one who hasn't spoken, I believe, is myself. So, I think my points have all been made. The fact is that people aren't going to be willing to submit applications to be a part of this program if the funding isn't going to be there. And this council has shown over and over and over again that they want those people, and yet on a practical matter, those people are not going to apply for a position. Now, we can sit there and we can amend this resolution to say that council has final approval over the organizations, but I don't know that we want to do that. So, that's my time. I'm going to take a minute and Attorney Wallace, can you please give me your opinion on the camera stand issue, please?
Yes, I can. Okay, after looking at the definition under Merriam-Webster, standing alone or on its own foundation, free of support or attachment. So it's either or, standing alone or on its own foundation, free of support. The resolution 240181 says that all use of freestanding camera stands, included but not limited to tripods, camera stands, and physical devices used to support or elevate cameras. Cell phones or other video recording devices is restricted to an area designated by the city clerk in the northeast corner of City Council chambers. So the resolution doesn't just speak to tripods. It speaks to any other type of device that is used to support or elevate a camera. Therefore, it's my legal opinion that whether it's a tripod standing on its own or a single device that's used to elevate or to support a camera, it should be restricted to the northeast corner.
Sir, I'm going to ask you to go back to the back corner, please.
I thought the rule said freestanding.
So my request is, so we're looking at the definition, standing alone. It is not standing alone. His is one leg and he's
The rule says freestanding.
or its foundation free of support. It's not free of support because it takes his hand to balance it.
Yeah, see, listen to what she said.
So he also says elevate, so he must be he is elevating him.
What, you think you scare me?
No, I just want you to do what you're told. That's it. Can we do that?
Well, maybe if you get the hell out of my way.
By all means.
What's your name?
You don't know, do you? You don't know.
What's your name and badge number?
I'll tell you back there.
I will tell you. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Keep whispering. Keep moving.
Look at all these idiots. Got the idiot squad escorting me to the corner over here. Because people don't understand what the actual rule says. It's a fucking monopod. It's not self-supporting. I don't give a shit what the sign says. This is the First Amendment. I'm saying it quietly.
Thank you. This is the second.
Now what's your name and badge number, asshole?
Where does it state that they're out of the meeting, they're out in the.
What's your name and badge number, asshole?
State that they can't stand by the.
You said when you get back to your place.
Point of order. So if they
are removed from the meeting, and this is the only thing happening in the meeting right now, if they're removed from here, they should actually be removed.
As they came in to keep your policies state your name and badge number. Aren't your policies to state your name and badge number when they ask? No, I don't have a problem with you, it's him.
Seamus, are you aware that,
How about you? Will you tell me your name and
that
badge?
according to
No, I don't have a badge number.
report, that students are.
Why not?
Because I don't have one.
Okay, what's your name?
I'll have to provide that.
Bunch of tyrant motherfuckers.
Are you also aware that one of the recipients, are you also aware that one of the recipients, organizations gave a job to one of their own children?
I'm obviously taking your word for your comment.
Request for information. Who were they? And who did they work for?
Are you aware of it?
Is it a fact?
It's on the paper, I'm assuming it came from the organization or from the
Fucking clowns.
Request for information. Can we all receive the same paper so we all can be on the same? Okay. All right, so is there?
So, obviously you're not aware, I'm gonna take that you're not aware of those things that.
I'm standing in for a person tonight, as I stated at the very start.
Okay, well, no offense, but if you can't speak for yourself, then.
Hold on, guys, I gotta put you in my pocket for a second.
I said that at the very start.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Any other discussion? Second round? Yes. Yes, Mr. Piper. Mr. Piper,
Fucking assholes.
Okay.
Mr. Piper.
Did I see W22W? What's up?
Non-resident students receive money from this program.
See, now I can't hear what's going on. So they have violated my First Amendment already. This is Flint. Welcome to this World Media, Flint.
Thank you. So, as we look, and our colleague won't tell us where, oh, exactly. We are looking to see where, so.
So, point of information, I'm looking at the page and all of these say Flint, Michigan.
Yeah,
We can kind of see where else, it's all of these say Flint, Michigan.
Right. And we're talking about.
Excuse me.
Yeah, so, Madam Chair, could you please give him a warning for yelling out?
Probably gonna be arguing this point for now.
Madam Chair, he was the one that left talking about F you, so I didn't want to be on alert. We can't have people yelling out as we conduct business. So anyway, it's my time, so we can just go ahead and let my time continue to roll. Thank you. According to this Flint Clean and Safe Summer Youth Jobs, I'm looking, Mr. Seamus, and I don't see it. I don't see one street that is not Flint. All of these streets look familiar to be City of Flint Street.
Is, they may say Flint, but that does not mean that they're in Flint. For example, my mother's address says Flint, but it's Mount Morris Township.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Burns. And that is the new McCree Theater, that is in the second ward, and that's also the theater of Jerry Griffin Carter's father. So we can go ahead and make sure that we don't give them funding because they are So they are making sure that they are highlighting, accepting youth not from Flint. So thank you for that. And so back to my point, I don't want to gatekeep. I want to uphold the rules. And so the rules say that you must only employ kids that live in Flint, which this is what the money is for. We want to make sure that that's the case. So since you have identified the Newman Creek Theater as an employer that is employing youth outside the city of Flint, we will make sure that...
She's speaking to my motives, telling a lie. I did not say that it was the Newman Creek. That is what you said.
Okay.
The Mill Street Road. I did not state the creek at all.
Can I address this? Mill Creek is actually in Flint Township. Whether they receive payment or not, I don't know.
Thank you.
That resident is in Flint Township, and it is the address of one of the streets.
Thank you.
No, point of request for information, Madam Chair. Did you know that what she said was, one of our colleagues said it was Mill Creek. The other colleague pointed out that that was under McCree Theater's employment. I think we're missing the point. One pointed out that it was under, that it says Mill Creek, and the other pointed out who the service provider was.
And I know that there was at least one person who was employed at McCree who did not receive funding.
All right, but this is what we have here, since we have colleagues that want to gatekeep. Colleagues that have said from their elected seat tonight that if an organization is here that they're not going to pass it. It's not our job to gatekeep, and it's not our job to approve the organizations. Our job is to pass money and ordinances. That's what our job is to do. And our job is also to meet with the mayor as he extended the olive branch to the office so he can hear our priorities. He's been saying that all year, and he sent out another email. And so we have colleagues that's refusing to do so. So going back to my point, so seeing that the Newman Creek Theater...
What's your point of order? She does not need to speak a violation of Robert's Rules 43.21. She don't know if we denied to meet with them or not, so stop her from lying.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this conversation wouldn't even need to be had if you meet with the mayor. But the point is, our colleague pointed out that Mill Creek is not in Flint, you're right. And Mill Creek, McCree is employing students that lived on Mill Creek. So what we just came to the conclusion of, the Newman Creek Theater is employing people outside Flint.
What's your request?
I think we might want to look at Knickerbocker Avenue. I think
Wait
that's
till you guys see the full video.
and that's not McCree. So that's the good church.
All right. Well, all right, thank you. So if we look at it from the property portal, because I don't like this law, so Madam Chair, can we pause the time? So we can just, so we can look that up, because I want to be clear, and I want to be factual. Everyone that's like in the background, you know that the city will have an odd relationship with the truth. So we want to make sure that we...
Is that like your bishop and you?
Excuse me.
Request for information.
I was just going to answer the point about...
Go ahead.
That is not in the city. Same with,
So my association is with the truth is really good then.
Right, okay, so we can go ahead and make note of that as well. Again, this is not about gatekeeping. I'm not up here saying who I will not give money to without a valid reason. And so we need to move on and do what's in the best interest of the youth. Let's pass these jobs. But it's been stated on the mic that we are gatekeeping the 6th Ward. And point of order, can we please have our officers go in the back, because they should not be yelling out and blurting out. They should not. They're being disorderly in the back corner.
They absolutely don't.
Is the officer there? All right, well, we need to stop hiding and let's go ahead and enforce the rule.
Thank you. So I'm sorry to our police that you are being weaponized against the residents.
The police information, was she sorry when she was interfering when the
that was incorrect.
Go ahead.
So, thank you.
I already-
So, who vetted these, whoever vetted these, I don't think that they were vetted properly, because it states a Flint address, but all that intelligence, she should know better. But I do want to say this, when we talk about, I'm definitely not gatekeeping, but we last year did not have the, we had the names, and that's what I'm saying to you. Now, I know that, the councilwoman in the second ward was a huge, no, you were stressed enough, and so I don't really need you. I'm good with you. I do know that, when we talk about it, like I said, some of these addresses may stay Flint, but they're not. But I know I'm not gatekeeping, and all this gaslighting, she needs to stop. This is whoever's responsibility to check these addresses. And the mess that she's in, her energy is just nasty tonight, and it's very unacceptable. And she was a stickler on making sure people to get fed in her ward at St. Martin. So I surely know she wouldn't approve this, because they had the audacity to feed people who were hungry that were coming through that line. So I think that, and I'm looking at some of these other addresses. And yeah, there's some ones, and they do need to be put in the property portal. So if she's trying to flip this script on us, some of these, and then to come off and to say, I want to say this, the McCree Theater does absolutely great work, and
request for information.
I'm not answering you, so you
request for information. Thank you. So what do you mean by those are her people?
So that's an improper request for information.
No, that's
so the McCree Theater does absolutely great work in this community, and I will not let her nasty opinion and comments speak to the good deeds that happen, and she also likes to use that facility and has been there. So McCree does good work in this community, and they will continue. Now, whether that is Councilwoman Winfrey Carter, the senior most councilwoman's father, has nothing to do with that. You are always just keeping a mess. Get your list together, we won't have to question it. And that's the part that you need to stop with. So if these are, and some of these are not Flint, and you up here doing all this stuff that you are weaponizing the police, you're calling people out, you're yelling and screaming, you lack decorum, you're accusatory, you need to stop. Because if we need to,
Please stay relevant to name to the resolution.
So if we needed to go through, and it has been something that is important with these children, this is not our list. We didn't vet them. Now she can go through her pastors too. I don't know if this one is either. We're looking at them. Yeah, well, yeah. So what do you got to say about your church not living in Flint?
Excuse me, we have a request. What's your request?
Ms. Burns, are you aware that there's 3 individuals that are on
The audacity of that. Can she speak to that? This is just crazy.
Madam Chair,
Let's get them
Madam Chair, I would like the floor. So we just spent, I don't know how much time, rather than focus on youth jobs, doing everything but. So when the conversation needed to be about youth jobs and why they should have jobs, and maybe giving some organizations, there was no energy, there was no answers, there was nothing. But now that we need to pick it apart because we don't want it to succeed, because we're mad that it succeeded last year because it was the mayor's initiative, now we need to pick apart. Whose name did I say? Whose name did I say? Whose name did I say?
Excuse me, no arguing.
just clearly stated that we do not want it to succeed.
Whose name did I say?
It's a regular circus in here. This is
Thank you, because I didn't say that one name. Hit dogs will holler. Now, as I was saying, we're doing everything but focused on, because this could have been done before this meeting, but because we need to tear it apart publicly to make ourselves look good and look like we're not attacking youth jobs, now we got to do this right here at this meeting, when the reality is.
Now she is speaking from
Whose name did I say?
You said you're breaking it apart. You're only the So you're picking it apart.
Whose name did I say?
Madam,
Thank you.
Point of order, before we go ahead.
Seamus, while we're in the middle of this point of order, can you walk the bridge first?
43.21.
Point of order. She called that rule like 15 times and it's been wrong tonight. And according to our rule, if you continue to abuse privilege motion, you will be brought to order. And so, you gonna let her do this? Okay, oh, we good? Okay. All right, now let's just see how good we be if you're gonna continue to allow her to violate the council rules.
Go ahead, Ms. Michelle.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us again. Go ahead. Could you pause? They're wasting my time, pause.
Oh my God.
Can we get it back at 2:06? Go ahead.
Through you to Councilman Dave Ward, going back to what you're saying about the names and councilwoman of the organization, we can get an idea of what that looks like, what that means. And my question was, I'm not sure if you're sitting there, the last round was, does that mean that we have these names?
Point of order. I can't.
We're on my time. Literally on my time.
Point of order. My point is, she's talking too loud, telling you need to stand up here.
Oh shit.
Do you point of order? Are you going to point at her or give her a
All right,
point?
we are now abusing point of orders to out of control. This is, you're all, this is, go ahead.
We're on my time. I was listening to him.
You sure are. Go ahead.
There is somebody in the back yelling out, and so you might want to deal with that.
Is the officer on his phone?
I don't know.
No attention to me.
Like I was saying, I understand what the councilman in the Ninth Ward was asking about earlier, and we had a discussion about that, the potential fiduciary. I understand there's others that are in support of this. I really want to see this pass. I know the administration wants to see this pass. So again, I'm speaking to the councilman in the 8th Ward, through you, and the councilman in the 6th Ward, Councilman Burns. If you could give us an idea of what that looks like. Is the expectation that we make a list? Could be 20, 30, who knows how many people, how many entities it could be that are interested? Do they all have to come in before you guys? Will you guys be here? Will they have a quorum? Will they be coming in wasting their time? All of that sort of stuff. I'm just bringing that before you. I really want an understanding of how we can move this forward, because this is chaos right now, and it's not about what it's about. This is about the youth getting jobs, the youth need jobs, the youth need to be off the streets in the summer. We see it. We've been asked constantly as an administration, what are we doing for the youth? What are we doing for the young people? This is an opportunity to show that we're actually doing something. We can be joined in unity in doing this and making this happen. And again, we are staff, we're here to do our jobs, we want to do our jobs. We don't want to be sitting here listening to this crap.
Which is why I said that we're off on all these different tangents, when the whole point of this resolution at this point in time is to talk about these jobs. There were organizations that they wanted to see brought forth, and those organizations could have been brought forth to the administration. If you don't want to talk to the mayor, you can talk to Mr. Mark Spring, you can send an email. Clearly, Seamus is willing to talk to all councilmen, so you know, can be sent to him. But the bottom line is, right now, everything is being done to derail something that can help the youth for the summer. Thank you.
I'm not going to take any time. This is the vote to send resolution 250140 to council. I have 5 members in the seat to vote, and I only have 4. I do need council members in their seat to vote for this resolution. Council members, please return to your seats so that we can vote on this resolution.
Cue the carnival music.
Council members, please return to your seats so that we can vote on this resolution and go forward.
She's sitting there ignoring what the chair of the council is telling her to do, and she's still out here in the audience. That's pretty ridiculous. She's trying to talk to all the different cops to see if they can put a stop to people talking. It's hilarious. None of them want to do it.
RL, please take your seat.
Said now she's calling.
This is the vote to send resolution 250140 to
She's
council.
refusing to go back to her seat. What the hell?
Yes. Ms. Burns?
I abstain because we need further information that we do not have.
What the hell is she doing?
What is your point?
We can only abstain if it's a personal conflict.
It's a personal conflict for me.
Personal
What the
financial.
hell is this lady doing? She's supposed to be up there for the vote.
Yes.
She's totally ignoring the council. Because she's so bothered about the cameras and the people commenting about her bullshit. Freaking hilarious.
Vote is 2 yes, 2 no, 1 abstention. Vote is 2 yes, 2 no, 1 abstention, that fails. The next resolution is 250155, the 2025-2026 master fee schedule. We entertain a motion.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I make a motion that we move this to council.
Motion on the floor to send resolution 250155 to council by Councilwoman in 7th Ward. Is there support? I'll support that. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
there were questions last week about the master fee schedule.
Mr. Moore?
I can start with Mr. Moore. You won't have an answer, Mr. Moore. I absolutely can speak to, I did not get the budget or about much about the center and the fees.
Kind of hard to hold one
And
phone in
the
the
director here. Well, the McKinley Center has some questions about the fees and how they would be leasing the building.
Yeah, she's here.
Is she here?
Ms. Wiggins?
Hi, Mrs. Wiggins, how are you? Good. So I have some questions in regards to, your director.
She's trying to
And you have
close
that
somebody who
director?
cares.
Yes. How many employees do we have? Just the one. Just the one. We also requested from your, personal service contract, you didn't get it. I've asked for that several times, and so for us to have a censure on it that's running. So on the master fee schedule, my question was for, how did you, were you a part of the process where they, it was the 450, 100, 450, 350, 100. How did that come about for the master fee? It gave the different age groups. Is there a reason why that you broke?
We have a membership fee, which is $350. You have a membership fee for $350. I mean, that's rental for, yes, for, if you're a member of May Center, you only have to pay $350 for rental. If you're a non-member, you pay $450 for rental. If you are 80 years plus, you pay $100.
So this is it's not just the senior center, are both of them community centers? Or are they, because they're not just senior centers, are they? Because I believe at the community center we're looking at for the fee, and I'm thinking that fee may be different, because won't you be doing a project, with the community center with another group?
I'm not sure, I have to do my research, and I'm not sure if Mr. Mayor would have to answer that question, I'm not sure.
Okay, I believe there's another, the coalition, I have to look at it with Mark Evans, and I believe they're supposed to be a community center. So I don't know how those fees, if they're utilizing that, how that's going to be. And I believe they got they're receiving funds from Genesee County, I think for 5 years. Or they got a grant for that. Okay.
Hey, can you hold this for a few minutes so I can use the restroom? Here, can you hold this one while I do this one? Thank you.
Yeah, there's no one that, Mark Evans has a program that's coming in there.
She got to stay here.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Ms. Williams, can you explain to me what member non-member is?
A member is an individual who lives in the city of Flint 55 years or more. That's considered a member of the main senior center. McKinley is not open yet, so we have. I can only answer to, at this time, to the main center.
Should we strike
I can only answer right to the main center at this time.
Did you see that lady over there trying to get kicked out of the hallway? Freestanding means.
I've got your recorder, all 5 of them swarming you.
The senior
From out
center.
here.
All the cops in there.
Yeah, I've got your recorder.
Right here.
It's called Main Senior
I've got a
Center.
recorder from back here too.
service?
And community service center, correct.
They're trying to
We have
kick them from
programs
out.
where for the community, different services available for the community, but
They got a First
from
Amendment violation of that.
8 a.m.
Because they're fucking-
until 5 p.m.
So it's free.
6
If I let it
p.m.
go.
is a senior center. And we accommodate individuals who are 55 and up.
You weren't blocking nobody. You weren't.
This
So someone wanting to rent it after the hours, say a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout.
Well, you can take that. That's the cover for that.
Well, we're talking to 2 different entities. We're talking from 8 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Friday.
You got kicked out as
until
you were
5
passing your
o'clock
way out the door.
And we're not talking about rental. Okay, you talking about
Because this is.
As long as they're not blocking anybody, they're fine.
Member and non-member rentals, and I'm asking.
In order to block, somebody has to be trying to get through. So they can stand here as long as they move whenever somebody's trying to get through.
If a fire, we're gonna be out before that. That's true, that's a fact.
Come on, man. You're misrepresenting the words.
say the senior center, but it says service community center.
Okay.
So is it different? Is it called something different after hours?
So, yes, so if you want to rent the center after, 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the evening, and you're affiliated with someone who is a member, you are also privy to that discount.
Is there anything in writing to show how these rules and regulations that we have? Because
Just what's in the master fee schedule.
just in the master fee schedule. So where in the master fee schedule does it say the description of members and non-members? It doesn't. And where does it say that after hours it's different rate, or, 4-hour rental block for event for 80 years old or more? That's the only thing I think identifies. I would like the rules and the regulations and all of that stuff that regarding these charges in writing, in descriptions and all of that. Because no offense, but I'm looking. And is this only a senior center or is this a community center?
This is the name of the center is the Mays Senior Center and Community Service Center. That's the name of the center.
So it's not exclusively a senior center?
Well, you know what, I'll do my research and I'll get back with you.
Mr. Moore, were we able to run any of those reports that I requested?
We've been working on it. I take it to school, and I just haven't had time to do that, but we're talking about for the,
individual charges?
Right.
Yeah.
There is, the system does have a lot of information. It just takes some time to generate.
Any other discussion in the first round? Go ahead, Ms. Murray, continue.
It's not an easy thing to do, but we can do it. We'll just take some time.
Go ahead. Back to Ms. Okay, any other discussion in the first one? Any other discussion in the first one? Any discussion? Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Madam Chair, through you to, the director of the center.
Ms. Wiggins.
Yes.
Mrs. Wiggins.
Thank you for coming back up. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for trying to provide answers. Because I do want to clarify that you said it's called the Mays Senior and Community Service Center. I also want to clarify that I did hear you say the fact that from 8 to 5, is it 8 a.m.?
Correct.
Okay, from 8 to 5, that it is a senior center. In fact, that it's exclusively for seniors to use the services there. But that in the evening, other members of the community have the ability to utilize that location as well.
Correct.
Correct. And I know that you all also offer different classes or initiatives that happen in that building as well.
Correct.
Right, so I believe that that is where the community service center part comes in, because the community is welcome to use the building, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and then I also believe I heard you say that members of the senior center, so 55 and older, that they have a discounted rate, and then if you're over 80, it's even more of a deep discounted rate to use it for special events after hours.
Correct.
Okay. And then I believe I also heard you say that non-members, meaning people that are under the age of 55, so 54 and below, can also use the center for special events after hours as well.
Correct.
Okay, because I'm understanding, I hear what you're saying, and I see what the community service center part is coming in. So thank you, because your explanation was a good, detailed explanation, and I just want you to know that it was, and it was clear. So thank you for giving a clear, detailed explanation. I appreciate that. And you also made it clear that the McKinley Center is not open quite yet. And so you're not over there, so you would not have details on a center that you are not yet running, correct?
Correct.
Thank you, because you made that very clear as well. That was perfectly clear, so thank you for being clear when you said that. Thank you for also stating that because the McKinley Center is not open, that there are some things still being worked out for what it will look like once it is open. And so because you don't have the responsibility of the center yet, you can't speak to the services there because they're still being worked out. Did I hear that correctly?
That's correct.
Thank you. You were very clear when you said that as well. Also, as it relates to the McKinley Center, you said that once it is open and everything has been negotiated, that you will have some direction over that center, so you would be able to come back and then speak to that and the fee, and if there are any fees associated with that one as well, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. You've been very clear tonight on who you are and your responsibilities as it relates to the Mays Senior and Community Service Center, and as it relates to the not yet open, not yet under your direction, McKinley Center. Thank you. I yield.
Okay, anybody else? I'm gonna take them. I think everybody's spoken except for Mr. Jared. Did you want to speak? Okay, so I'm gonna take some time, just a few minutes on the McKinley Center, because it doesn't make sense to go back. If the pricing seems to be identical to the Mays Center for McKinley, and if we're gonna have that open this year, already having those fees set makes a lot of sense. And if they don't open, then there will be no fee assessed because it's not available. And I wanted to make that clear. All right, anybody in the second round?
I have here.
Go ahead.
I want to be very clear. It was not clear. So,
This lady's
you are hired to run the McKinley Center and the Mays Center, is that correct?
At this time, I was hired to operate Mays Senior Center and Community Center services.
Okay, until I see what, and it's no offense to you, what your job description is, I will not be approving it. We don't even know how much you make. That did not come before us, just like the two new,
Request for information.
What's your request?
Is her salary a part of the resolution?
I will state her job description and what she does, in case you didn't know that.
Excuse me, this is through me, but I'm gonna answer that, is that this is just on the master fee schedule, it has nothing to do with her salary.
So for me, it does, and I could ask if I want, because I'm elected just like that. So when it goes to the master fee, because it's actually on here, and so if you're not running that, and it's not open, then it needs to come off. It needs to come off until the time that it is up and running. We should not be putting something on there that it doesn't apply to. And I still would like to see her personal service contract. And it'll tell what her job description is, which deals with these centers which are on this master fee schedule. I've asked the deputy, it's not hard. We ask for stuff, we don't get it. And so with this, we're saying also that these are two different things. If we're not using the McKinley, then it needs to be amended to take it off. But if it's in your job description to run that, then we need to make some adjustments. And I know that in job descriptions, they're very specific as to what you're running, and that was my reasoning for asking. Because if it's not open yet, and I know that Mark Evans will be opening up, I don't know when. But my question is too, is there any senior village funding that we get for the Mays Center? Did we get any from the county?
Not at this point.
Okay, have we applied, have we been denied?
We've applied, we are going through the process. We still need to have a public health inspection. And we're going to be working to try to get the...
Okay, so in the Mays Center, they failed the building inspections. Were you aware of that? Why are we renting this out? Our own Flint Fire Department failed the Mays Center. why are we renting it out? And
we
these are
did-
things from the senior village.
We did pass the inspections,
When did they pass? Because when you submit over to the county, they have a whole list of things that fail.
that was prior to, our occupancy of the, main center. That was.
Can I get a copy of your occupancy, please, if we can all get that? Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else in the second round? Go ahead.
Mr. Moore, when do you think the report, when do you think? If I gave you, maybe 10, 12 line items, how long before you can run reports on those 10 line items?
Nothing simple and funny.
I could probably get it next week sometime.
Next week sometime. I have issue with the rental inspection fee. This is not a question, Mr. Moore. I have several, and I know that there are litigation on a few of these, so I don't want to speak to them necessarily. But Mr. Moore, I will get you, I was hoping to get a extensive list, but if I can get you 10 or 12 line items, and hopefully we can get those reports from.
I think so.
And then, I'm in agreement with my colleague in the 6th Ward. Until, we're shown how these centers are going to be funded, I think that having both of these community centers open, or on this master fee schedule, whether they're open or not, to me, is, putting the cart before the horse, because where's the funding coming from? If we're still waiting on county dollars, how are we funding, and how are we funding, Ms. Wade's salary right now? Out of what account?
The wages are coming out of, ARPA funding.
I'm sorry, what?
ARPA. And
her wages are coming out of ARPA?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And the utilities and supplies are coming out of the park.
Coming out.
Park recreation.
So what expenses are those? Like the lighting bill and that type of stuff?
Right, yes, sir.
Okay.
There was also another ARPA resolution that included capital for the Hasselbrand Center, and some of the bigger expenditures have come out of that.
What bigger expenditures are we?
That'd be like a pool table or a TV or something like that.
We purchased those for the basin?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other discussion in the second round?
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
I do want to be clear and reiterate the fact that you clearly stated your position, made perfect sense, and what Councilwoman in the 4th Ward said made sense as well, of the fact that the McKinley Center needs to be in here because we're in this. The assumption is that the same thing that's being done at one center will be done at the other. So that's why the fees are the same and that's why the fees are matching. And like Ms. Priestley said, that if the center is not open, there's no fee to assess, there's nothing to rent out, there's nothing to do with. I think that it is poor legislation and I think that it is reactive to try and put something in afterwards. I think that is just simply not an intelligent way to legislate. I think what makes sense is to have that in there. And so that when the time comes and that center opens, because the fees are going to be the same, because we're treating the centers as the same, then the fees are already in place. There's nothing that has to wait to try to come back and be dealt with. The fact that it's already there, they're already being treated equally, and then should you need to rent that out or do whatever, those fees are already in place. That's just good governance. That's common sense governance. I do want to Also, again, thank you for being here, because the problem is sometimes there are aggressive tones used towards you when it's not about you, when it has nothing to do with you. So I thank you for your grace under pressure. And you standing there and specifically doing your job and staying professional and answering the questions that you are asked. Even though they may be asked several different ways, and you're clear on all the ways that they're being asked, and the answer is the answer. There's nothing that you are trying to hide. You're simply coming before council as requested and answering questions about your position. I think another thing that my colleague in the 4th Ward was 100% correct about is nowhere on this agenda, nowhere in this master fee is your salary. And so that's not a reason to hold up a vote about a master fee schedule. And so I want to, I'm sorry. No. Anyway, so again, just thank you for your grace under pressure. Thank you for coming to simply try and do your job. And again, you were clear on the fact that you are currently only running the Mays Center and Community Service Center. The Mays Senior and Community Service Center, because that is the only one that is open right now. And so that's the one that you can answer for, because that's the one that contractually, the only one that you can run. You can't run something that's not open. You can't have answers for something that's already up in the air. So thank you very much. Actually, you'll probably have to do it on someone else's time, Mr. Moore.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the second round?
Can I make a comment?
Madam Chair.
Yes. Go ahead.
It was just pointed out to me that the job description and job posting was posted, and if the city council were to check their emails, they could find the salary range and the job descriptions that were used for hiring.
Request for information.
What's your request?
I would like to have a personal service contract, because we know that.
Oh, hold on, wait, whoa.
You've had to take the floor. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Proceed, Mr. Were you done?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Would you like to add anything else, Ms. Williams? No, okay.
Shane's back up there.
It was a competitive posting, too.
You said it was competitive?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, and thank you so much, Ms. Williams.
Request for information.
What's your request?
My request is, due to the board, did we, this, you being paid out, did we approve?
No, I don't have that information, so that should have been taken during your time. So, thank you so much. Yeah, so you all can definitely have a seat. Thank you so much for your time and your commitment to the city. And so what we need to do is, make good use of our time. Ask good questions during our time. That's what we're supposed to do. And so we have another senior citizen center that's slated to be open. And then we hear that it may not get a vote. Well, the master fee schedule might not be a vote because of the executive director's salary. Not the same thing. And so hopefully we can pass this, because we need to have every single resource activated legally in this city that we can. And so we also need to pass this master fee schedule as well, because it determines clearly the master fee for the city. This isn't our first time having an understanding what the master fee schedule is. We all know what it is, we know what it does, and we know what we need to do during this time. So I'll be convinced not to pass this. We had a long time to get all the details that we needed. We even had this weekend, Madam Chair. So when exactly did we get information, I guess, about the master fee schedule? When did we know that this was going to be on the agenda?
We received this resolution, let's see, today is what, 21st?
Okay, 23rd. Okay. Oh, the 13th, okay, got it. And so we had the opportunity, all the information we needed. Shane, could you please come through you, Madam Chair?
Yeah, just a couple of points that were raised to clarify. The job is posted and it's available there. I can send you the link, it's still actually there. You can see it. And it was It was a competitive process, so initially we put it out to bid for a contract, only bid on it, so we went through the competitive process, but also on the funding source. City Council approved a resolution that Emily Dorr put up together a few months ago that paid for a number of positions, and 2 community centre liaisons were in that initial resolution that was approved by Council.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Madam Chair.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Gerald.
Through you to whomever from the administration can speak to the water sewer bill rates on these guys.
Mr. Moore.
Mr. Moore, lines 634 through 637, residential city meter size. And these are, if I understand correctly, the lines that are serving the homes, and there are 4 different sizes.
Correct.
Okay, so if when your home was built, you have a 5/8 by 3/4, you pay this 20, I can call that or which you pay under $30.
Right, correct.
Size 1 inch or more, you pay $58 to have access primarily, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, is this the body then that can make adjustment to these?
Yes, make adjustments to the water rates, more involved process. We need to make sure there's certain rules that we have to follow.
So what do we have to do to lower the monthly access rate? Because someone bought a house not realizing they have a 1 inch or 1.5 inch or a 2 inch, and I'm gonna pay forever double just to have access. Not that I'm using more, but to have access.
I believe there's a process that they can get on a smaller size meter, which will reduce the flow, which will reduce the fee for the homeowner.
Okay, what adjustment though can be made to the fee itself? How do we go about that? Changing this 58 maybe to 48?
First step would probably be having a water rate study. There's when you set water rates, you have to make sure that you meet certain guidelines that are established by the state. Because they can't just, you can't have arbitrary rates between the different steps. There's a process you have to follow. You have to meet certain criteria in order to set the rates.
Okay. So we're not the body that can work to do that.
Well, we can give us feedback and we can get the work done, but if there is a process. It's not as easy as lowering the rates. You have to make sure that
Thank you.
rates are.
Mr. Moore, you can continue on my time. I'm the only one who hasn't spoken.
You have to make sure that the different rates meet the criteria that the state has.
Okay, so, Mr. Moore, Eagle set some of this. I know that I had a business in my ward that called me up complaining that her water rates went up. And Eagle, she had been being billed as a residential when it was a business, and Eagle made the city change it and charge her business rates. So Eagle does have some control over what we charge. Even though it's our water system, they have some oversight.
That's correct.
Thank you. This is the vote to send resolution 250155-T, adoption of the fiscal year 2026 master fee schedule.
Yes, Swiss cheese.
Ms. Winfrey Carter is absent. Ms. Burns?
No.
It's the counter.
Mr. Shad?
TV screens.
Mr. Fighter?
That's the sound.
Mr. Garrett?
Yes.
Ms. Mr. Allen is absent. Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
You voted 4 yes, 2 no?
The vote is 4 yes, 2 no, that motion fails. So entertain a motion on the floor by the councilman in the 8th ward to keep it in finances or support. It's been supported by the councilwoman in the 6th ward. This is the vote.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Mr. Shad? Piper? Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Vote is 6 yes, 0 no?
The vote is 6 yes, 0 no. Just for people's understanding that without this master fee schedule, we are interpreting, not passing the budget. The next one is 250156-T, assessment streetlight cost fiscal year 2026. Is there a motion? Go ahead. Is there, it's been moved by the councilwoman in the 2nd ward, is there support? It's been supported by the councilwoman in the 7th ward, is there any discussion? Go ahead.
Through you, Madam Chair, Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore, is there any kind of, I can't honestly, I can't remember you that I was speaking to about what we're gonna do with the funds that we have in this account? Was it you?
We had a brief conversation about that.
Has there been any, Madam Chair, can you bring order?
Please, people, we are trying to listen. And they actually, it's on both sides of the chambers, it's both the administration and in the audience.
Has there been any discussions inside of administration on this, light up the city plan or whatever that hit the press about how we're gonna spend these money?
Not sure I understand. We have talked about how we want to replace all the.
You know, I think my conversation was with Ashley. That's why probably foreign to you. I think it was Ashley that was saying. I think Ashley's here. Is Ashley here?
Ashley, are you here? Is Ashley here?
No, I don't see her.
Okay.
No, okay. That's why we had an in-depth conversation with Ashley on a special meeting. Given the amount of money that we have in this account, of yearly, between 4 and 5 million, maybe more, is there any thought, which is 2 years of reserve, is there any thought of reducing this assessment?
We have had some discussion about that, with the new lights, we're hoping in the long term that will reduce our overall cost for the.
Well, I hope so. It was told that we're gonna reduce it by 50%.
So, we have had some discussion about trying to reduce it. Internally, we've talked about, reducing it by $7 to $8. That would bring it down, approximately 10-12%. And, because we don't want to,
No, and I'm with you, and I'm not necessarily advocating that we lower it. I'm advocating we either lower it or we spend the money and get rid of all these dark spots in the city. Because we have all this money, so why not use it?
We are planning to expand the number of lights. The plan is to overlay the dark spots with the prime maps and hit those areas first and make it a lot brighter. And then we'll plan to do that throughout the city. We're hoping to make the city a lot brighter over time.
When is that going to start, Mr. Moore?
That'd be a national question.
I'll listen to my other colleagues and what they want to do to this, but to me, we have 2 years of reserve, and we just spent $2 million of ARPA dollars to lower our operating costs by allegedly 50% is what we were told. So I would like to see a plan or like to see us reduce this. So, but to me, to keep charging the same amount, when we have such a surplus in this fund, why not give it back to the residents? That's my point. Because I mean, why not give it back to the residents and take whatever we give back on this, and instead of raising garbage 30% next year, maybe we change that garbage number this year and reduce this one so it's an offset of equal cost. I mean, to me, that makes more sense than throwing a 30% garbage on next year out of the blue when we have excess funds in this one. So, do you have an opinion on that, Mr. Moore?
I think I'd be indifferent, but I'm going to be opposed to that.
All right, I'll listen to my colleagues. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Any other discussion in the first round? Oh, go ahead, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, to Mr. Moore, thank you. So what is it gonna take, or what would it take to start the process to do the offset that the councilman paid for this?
I think just give it staff direction, and in the interest of that, we will draft a resolution to do that.
Okay, so direction to the staff to write a resolution to do such.
To reduce the reduce the streetlights and to increase the traffic on equal amount, and I think we can come up with a number. What a chief result.
Is that something you think we can have complete by the next committee meeting, subcommittee meeting?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
And if I understood sort of what was said prior to us getting to this resolution coming out of the vote of the last, and I think what I heard was the budget is not now gonna be able to be approved in this meeting. Does this resolution have any impact on the budget?
No, the budget will be fine.
Point of information. It actually impacts the property tax bills.
It's a special assessment.
So it impacts the property tax bills.
So this one also is gonna have impact then on.
The way we appropriate is by the expenditure cycle. And so, that won't have much of an impact on the budget resolution itself. But we would need to change the street lighting resolution and the trash resolution for the special assessments. And that we could do fairly quickly.
Okay. Thank you, I do.
Thank you. Any other discussion on the first round? Any other discussion on the first round? Stacy, did you have something you wanted to say? I'll take my time if you wanted to say it again. Okay. No, she doesn't want anything to do with it. So, I'm still gonna take my time. I did think about this, about possibly reducing it $1 or $2, just to, so that it doesn't, impact us too much, because we do need additional streetlights in the city. The question is how much are those streetlights going to cost? And I looked at the resolution that we approved last month on the streetlights, and it doesn't say how much those are going to be. But I know that when we approved the ARPA budget, that the 2.8 was going to include additional streetlights, but the estimate actually came in a little higher
without the additional streetlights. So, and I was told by a gentleman that I know who is in charge of this program, that it's gonna take about a year to change all the light bulbs over to the LEDs.
It'll take some time.
Yeah, and so I don't know that we will see a large benefit to it until fiscal year 27.
Right.
But I am not opposed to changing it $1 or $2 or something like that, or we can just leave it as is and use that fund to upgrade more streetlights or add more additional streetlights. But also by not changing it, we're not affecting anything. Additional property taxes are gonna go up just because assessments went up, but not I'm talking about the taxable value assessments, not the special assessments like the garbage and this. So, I'm kind of hesitant about reducing it, although I did think about it, until we know what the impact of this will be and how much it will cost us to replace street lights, and so that maybe this could be a big reduction in savings for fiscal year 27 and not for fiscal year 26. So I think that we just don't have enough information at this time to change for any large amount of dollars. So that's where I'm at on this. I'm ambivalent. I would love to reduce a couple bucks on the taxes, but if it's going to jeopardize adding streetlights to the city, I'm not sure I want to do that either. So time for the second round. Anybody want to have the second round? Any discussion on the second round? Go ahead.
Mr. Moore, you said that there was discussion that we could possibly lower this up to $8.
That'd be at the high end, but yes, sir.
Sorry?
That'd be at the high end, but yes.
That'd be high end. Madam Chair, I make a motion to amend the resolution to 250.56.1 to reduce the dollar value in paragraph 5 from $72.18 to $64.18. $64.18, and I so move.
6418. There's a motion on the floor to amend.
Madam Chair, also in the last be it resolved is also the same dollar value. I'd like to change.
Okay. To amend the dollar value to 6418. Is there support? That was by the councilman in the 8th ward. Is there support? Support. It's been moved and properly supported to amend resolution 250156 to 6418.
Madam Chair.
Yes, go ahead. We have discussion.
Yeah, I'll take the first one. Mr. Moore, I only make this to put that same $8 on the trash contract, on the trash waste and things. So it will be a net even to the residents. Is that a correct statement? If we take $8 from this and put it on the waste.
That makes a lot of sense, yes.
And is this something that the administration would support?
I would think so. I'm not sure I can speak for, but I would say, yeah, my recommendation would go ahead and support that.
Okay. And I do this because we have 2 full years of reserve of the street light assessment in this account. We spend about 2.5 and we have over 5. So we have 2 full years of support in this account if we didn't collect any dollars. And we know for a fact that trash is going up next year. And this right here will cushion that impact. Is that the correct statement?
Yes.
Thank you. So this isn't to lower taxes, this is to cushion next year. Because we know that next year a big deficit is coming in the waste account.
Other balance of how we're assessing.
So we're taking $8 from the streetlight assessment, and we're going to lower the streetlight assessment, and then when we get to the next one, the solid waste, which is the trash one, I'm going to vote or make a motion to raise that by $8,000. So next year, when we have to raise it by 30%, now we only maybe have to raise it by 10%. Instead of next year, we have to do all 30%. So, because, yeah, I guess there's no other way to explain it, right?
Yeah, I think that a lot of good argument for that.
Okay, thank you. I'll yield the rest of my time. If my colleagues have any other questions or comments or concerns that I'm not privy to, I'll yield the rest of my time. Thank you.
Madam Chair. Mr. Moore, did you get that?
Yeah, yeah.
So we're clear with what Councilman Pfeiffer saying, because that's what I'm supporting. But I want to make sure that Mr. Moore has got it so that, we don't get it in translation or resolution, get it.
Right, that makes a lot of sense.
All right, thank you.
Any other discussion?
Yes, Madam Chair. So I do understand exactly what my colleague is saying in the A board about the surplus that we have in lighting assessment and why it is important that, because we did talk about being proactive when we discussed what we needed to do with the garbage assessment. So it is your opinion today as the CFO that the changes that are being proposed are changes that will not have any negative impact on street lighting, that next year we will not have to raise an assessment, that that we have enough of a surplus to where we find this year and next year as far as street lighting assessment goes. All right, and then it is also your understanding as the CFO that this is not changing anything on any property tax, even though we're lowering the street lighting assessment. We're simply moving that over so that cushions the blow for any possible, because hopefully by next year, because we had this conversation before, the garbage assessment that will have a steady plan, but this is something that will add to the plan and give you something more to work with next year when we talk about garbage assessment.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? I'll take a few minutes and, Mr. Pfeiffer, I've discussed the need that we are not billing enough for garbage. Heather can acknowledge that as well. So I can support this 100%. It's not changing the amount of special assessments we're billing, but it's moving the money around. Thank you. Any discussion in the second round? Any discussion in the second round? This is the vote to amend resolution 250156 to the dollar amount of $64.18 in the appropriate places in the be it resolved, and any other necessary place in the resolution.
Ms. Michelle?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer? Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Dr. Lewis? Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
The vote is 5 yes, 0 no.
The vote is 5 yes, 0 no.
Madam Chair?
Go ahead.
I'll send the 250156.1 to council.
It's been moved by the councilman in the 8th ward, but seconded by councilwoman in the 7th ward to send to council. Is there any discussion? Go ahead, vote. Call vote. Any discussion? Okay, let's go ahead and vote. This is the
Fucking pig cop there keeps staring at me. Those motherfucker that got in my face. Which one? He's standing over there. Oh, curly hair. Yeah. Yeah, he got in my face and he said, I'm just waiting for you to do what you're told. I'm like, I'm waiting for you to get the fuck out of my way. Or something along that line.
He's good to go, beyond good to go. And the little short one, he's beyond good to go too. Mullet man, you're about to get to that stuff. I did that on purpose for him. So he broke an old lady's arm like 2 years ago and fucking
Well, I think he's super mellow about it now. I don't think he's gonna fuck up again.
Constitutional violation. Did I or not? Did I or not say that's a First Amendment activity? Did I not say this is a threat of arrest? That's called qualified immunity by Biden.
Right.
That paragraph and resolved into the same amount.
Support. Councilman 8 was supported by the Councilwoman 7 to change the number. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion?
So, just so we're clear on, because apparently clear needs to be the word today. Clear. This will be no tax increase to the residents of the city of Flint that receive trash services. The overall tax bill will not be increased. Is that a correct statement, Mr. Miller? That is correct. Okay. So any dwelling 4 units or less that receive trash service will not see a property tax or assessment increase. It will be leveled out between the lighting and the trash that they paid from the year prior and the year prior to that. That's correct. Okay.
Any other discussion?
That's true as long as residents lighting and garbage. If they have one or the other, they may have a decrease or an increase. They don't have both. Well, every unit that is single family or 4 units or less receive the lighting and the trash. That's correct. Okay. Then next year, when we revisit the budget and the budgetary numbers for the solid waste pickup, maybe it's less of a burden next year than it is if we did not do this. Is that correct? That's correct. Okay.
This is quite the show.
Madam Chair, I do want to thank my colleagues in the board for being clear. Just one more thank you all for providing clarity on the fact that, as we do get everybody over here will, assist in any, avoidance of increases for the garbage assessment that we need to do next year. So thank you both for being extremely clear. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Any other discussion? I do need 5 members up here in order to vote on this resolution. Good luck. I'm asking, yes. No, because she's still in jail. She's still in jail. I'm asking for council members to retain it, so that we can go on this resolution. Okay, this is the vote to send resolution 25. Yes. Oh, this is the amendment. Thank you so much. This is the vote to amend 250157 to 250157.1. Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Ms. Priestley? Yes. Ms. Burns? Yes. Mr. Chen? Yes. Mr. Piper? The vote is 5 yes, 0 no. Now I'll entertain a motion to send to council. It's been moved by Councilwoman 8 for, supported by Councilwoman 7 for. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, this is the vote to send resolution 250157 to council. Dr. Lewis is absent. Ms. Priestley? Yes.
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 That's the piece of shit I'm talking about. That fuck stick right there.
Yeah, she's tired.
I make a motion to move to council.
I'll support the discussion. Madam Chair. So, I will.
She's trying to narc me out.
DEA has not provided their budget.
And I did it out in the hallway, not in the council chambers. So bite it.
She sent you a letter to review.
Being ridiculous. I made sure I stepped out of the council chambers to do that.
So until we get that,
She got a hard on
well,
for me.
the bylaw says that they have to submit to us. I'm not ready to support this given that they lost.
Actually, that's funny.
I really want to see their budget in August. Maybe it's time to dissolve. If we're gonna keep bailing them out. So until I get that information, I'm not ready to support this. Like I said, I supported this, we've talked about it, and I can.
She's still bitching, really? I'm way the fuck back here. This is ridiculous. You know it's a violation of my First Amendment. Oh, really? I should be able to be standing right up there and fucking.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion?
Whether I have a tripod, a monopod, or a fucking.
I'll just say that shit
up. I mean, they want to fucking waste money on idiots. That's fine with me. I'll teach their Indian fucking words.
See the budget we did about now. We did one year I did the last year. But we will send a letter out and I'm sure they'll see something.
Well, they didn't present it until 2 years ago, when I think Attorney Early was in, where we knew then that we were supposed to get their budget. And that's what she
Still trying to get me kicked out of the meeting.
And that is that was one of my concerns, that Councilman Pfeiffer. You know, how are they offset, because parking meters was, I mean, they have them they're everywhere, you know, and so how are they offsetting that? Because those funds were generated, how much revenue were they using those meters generated? And without that, they're on the loss, how are they handling that in their budget? So that's, and I don't even know when the meters are coming back at all. So, those could be some long-term issues. Does anybody in the administration know if their meters are coming back, if they're buying another company? Yeah, we never know, you know, and that was one of the issues, even with that $20,000 with eyelashes, wings, and travel in their budget, we didn't know. With those funds, and I think that, we do it, and it's just fair that we do things decent and in order, to get those, I think those meters back. That's gonna be, we've always had meters, not always on the side streets, but we've always had them like downtown to offset, you know, we've always had them. And I don't want the meters back, don't get me wrong, because I have gotten a lot of tickets. But if we don't have them, it's our fiduciary responsibility to make sure what is in place for that part of their budget. Because those meters were paying for a part of their budget. And how are they paying for the bonds for the Rutherford parking lot? Do you know?
I don't.
Okay. Okay. So, which will probably
vote on that shit.
the city of Flint, because we are responsible for any of their shortfalls unless someone gets a cashier's check from the bank in Fenton. So, I'm done. Thank you.
Any other discussion in the first round?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
if I may, I just wanted to respond to Ms. Burns' inquiry about the meters without going into depth or anything. The meters have been, we've been ordered and purchased. So, but as far as installation and all that, I don't have any details, but I do know that they have ordered meters for downtown.
Okay. Thank you. Any other discussion in the first round? Any other discussion in the first round? Any discussion in the second round?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
City Clerk, I know we can't get into detail now, which is important because we're in the budget time. Is there expectation date for those, and how many of their meters are they getting, do you know? Because I don't think they were doing the side streets again and the back streets and.
Right, I don't wanna speculate, but I could get that information for you, and to provide it to council.
Also, thank you, and also the amount they get for, the revenues from meters.
Okay.
Who we get those? All right, thank you.
Any other discussion in the second round? Any other discussion in the second round? Okay, go ahead. Councilman in the 8th Ward, supported by the Councilwoman in the 7th Ward, made a motion to remain in finance. This is the vote.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer? Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
The vote is 6 yes, 0 no.
Vote is 6 yes, 0 no. That is staying in finance. The next motion is 250159, the 2025 operating village city of Flint taxable value valuation of real and personal property.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
I'm gonna make a motion to amend it to the copy that we got placed on us for 18.9948 amount. So I'm gonna amend it to a .1.
When did we do that?
It's in the
Oh, you're right, because I had this one from last week and I forgot. I got it. So here it is, pile.
So I make a motion to amend it to a .1 to, does the public have a copy of this out there, Madam Chair? Or Madam Clerk? Because we're not, the whole language of it changed, so is this a .1 or does this need to be a walk-on?
This would be a .1.
This isn't something that I can, just verbally do, because the language, changed quite a bit.
Okay, so there is a motion on the
Oh,
floor.
Madam Chair, hold on a second.
Okay.
Should this be a .1 or should this be a, I understand that usually it's a minor change, this is a big change. The language changed where.
What do you better do about that?
Yeah, without saying it out.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to postpone indefinitely 25015.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor, supported by the councilman in the 8th Ward, supported by the councilwoman in the 6th Ward, to postpone indefinitely resolution 250159.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer? Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Vote is 6 yes, 0 no.
Vote is 6 yes, 0 no.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
I'm making a motion to send the walk-on or add-on number 1 to council.
Support.
supported by Councilwoman in the seventh ward. Is there any discussion?
Madam
Yes, go ahead.
Chair. Through you to Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore, I think this is basically a decimal point that we're reducing, or Stacy. Do you percentage-wise what the assessment will be lower? Is it less than 1%?
Yes, it's about,
Very nominal.
it's roughly 0.5%.
0.5%.
From the city, overall for all the villages for the city, we'll be dropping about $10,000 for all the different villages that we have.
I'm sorry, sir.
For all the different villages that we have, the amount that will be reducing is about $10,000.
For the entirety of the city?
Yeah.
That's not per each resident. I just
No.
want to be clear.
That's for the entire.
So we're talking maybe some residents, it's going to be less than, obviously, it's going to be less than.
It's only around again for most people.
Okay, all right. So we're probably spending more money printing this than we're instead.
You just have to go because it's state law.
Yeah, no, I understand. So, this is the tax reduction, however, it is, unless you look at the decimal point, you're not going to notice. Thank you, I yield.
Any other discussion in the first round? Any other discussion in the first round? Any discussion in the second round? Okay, this is the vote to approve add-on number one.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Barrett?
Yes.
Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
The vote is 6 yes, 0 no.
The vote is 6 yes, 0 no. That would be sent to council. Okay. Our next resolution is 250160, adoption fiscal year FY 2026, City of Flint budget. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
I move that we suspend this to council.
There's a motion on the floor to send this to council. Is there support? Support. It's been moved by the councilwoman in the second ward, supported by the councilwoman in the seventh ward to send to council. Is there any discussion? Any discussion?
Madam Chair.
This, this document, is input.
I believe Mr. Piper, you wanted to speak as well, but I just want to point out, that there's at least one amendment that will need to be made to the resolution if there aren't amendments to the budget. But that is just to correct, in the fourth paragraph, the millages do not match what was just, adopted, or,
Okay.
the council, so we would need to amend this resolution to reflect the 18.98 villages. I just want to point that out.
Thank you.
And also, procedurally, when you do the budget adoption resolution, you do vote on every amendment, and then we only do a .1 for every amendment that passes.
Okay, thank you. Does everybody understand that? So we won't make it a .1 until every amendment has been made. So is there any discussion in the first round? Yes, go ahead.
So we vote to amend, just for clarity, we vote to amend, and then all the amendments, and then we'll do one final action for one. So technically, we're voting on the amendments.
If I may, your amendments to the
Pause
budget.
this for a minute.
So you'll.
If you like, what's this guy? I'll talk to you later.
He's an auditor. You don't like being recorded?
What's wrong with you, Chief Douche? I was just trying to read what his badge said.
He's a fire chief.
You might want to watch some websites that got auctions on that commercial kitchen stuff, and you can get a lot better price on, you know, like maybe a used commercial stuff. Yeah, for his,
Get on publicsurplus.com and you can find a lot of that commercial kitchen stuff that schools are selling.
We got it, but I
Oh.
want to know, would it be worth to do it in a church?
You take it off?
No, I'm going back. You still got my other pie.
It's up there. It's in the back, one of the girls over there.
You think you have a meeting here? You think you're going to back?
And then every time they have meetings, once the first meeting's over, you go back in, and once the second's over, you go back in.
There's 2 rooms. This is going on at what, like last time?
Yeah. Tommy Burger just meeting. She's like,
I just want to go smoke a cigarette.
yeah, it should be good.
Keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling.
Thanks.
Where's Shanti at?
Yes.
So that amount was increased from 15,000 to 25,000. So 10,000.
From 15,000 to 25,000.
Correct.
Okay, I would like to amend the budget to take it back down to 15,000.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor to amend the budget, council budget for travel to 15,000, and that's by Councilwoman 7464. Or sorry, 6. Is there
Madam Clerk, travel isn't a line item. I'm sorry. Because I want to be clear, travel is not a line item budget, so, how would you, your budget as well as this budget?
If he wasn't such a tyrant, I'd feel bad.
Education training conference as well as that is required to.
So, are we looking at, Mr. Moore, are we making changes, are we making changes to, Madam Clerk, are we making changes to these forms, or are we making changes to the individual forms like this? What would change the rate?
What would change is the operating, supplies and operating expenses for the city council.
So,
The different categories are particularly specified.
So it would basically be for, on this form, it'd be under 04, supplies and operating expenses.
Right.
Right, 0404? Line, or section 04, And then subsection 04, city clerk total, and, no, that's city clerk elections.
If you want city council, that'd be 01.
I'm sorry?
Did I hear that was city council, or that city clerk you're looking for?
So if we change the supplies and operating expenses, because that's a category to be under, correct?
That's correct.
So what, Madam Clerk, would you reduce that amount, or would you go into your, sub amount to change that? So would you reduce, because we're reducing that category by 10, but travel is not a category on this budget.
Right, as I stated, I know that what Ms. Burns is referring to is the, education training and conferences. And when she states she wants to take it back down, I'm not sure exactly if it would still stay in the budget and it could be moved somewhere else within the operating expenses.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not sure how that would work as far as, finance would consider it. But, I would definitely be able to find another place to put it. But, I just know that she's talking about that education training and conferences. I'm not sure if it would go back, into the general fund or not.
I want to make sure that we do the scalpel cuts the way we want to do it and not.
I would reduce the supplies and operating expenses for the department that you're trying
But that doesn't necessarily get as detailed of a cut as Ms. Burns just proposed.
Well, with the notes that the city clerk is stating, we will adjust that line item. We have more detail in the system.
Okay.
And we would reduce that, to meet the resolution.
Okay. So, is the motion on the floor detailed enough to do that?
To do that, yes, sir.
And the motion is to take it from 25 to 15. Is that a correct statement, Madam Clerk?
Yes.
And 25 is what you had in that category?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. I yield.
Is there any other discussion in the first round? Any other discussion in the first round? Any discussion in the second round? Seeing none, seeing none, this will be the discussion to amend the council travel from 25,000 to 15,000.
Dr. Lewis?
No.
Ms. Priestley?
No.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Michelle? No. Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
The vote is 3 yes, 3 no.
The vote is 3 yes, 3 no, that motion fails. Any other amendments? I have an amendment.
You can only amend it. That's voted, right? That's what we're doing.
Yeah. I have an amendment, and it's to the Ombudsman's office, and I'm going to remove the 2 analyst positions that are budgeted for. I had told them that I would just do the one, but upon reflection, seeing how they can't prove that the work is there for 2, I'm going to make a motion to remove both, and that would be personal services would be reduced by $200,092. Pension and OPEB is $94,619. Supplies and operating expenses, $49,000. Those are the revised numbers that you gave me, correct? So for a total of reduction in their budget of $343,711.
Madam Chair? No offense for throwing numbers out there, I wasn't ready to write it down. What is the total amount that you were proposing for that? Do you have the total number?
I do not have the total, I just have the changes for this budget. Mr. Moore, let me look at it.
$467,549, right?
Okay, we have to fund it by $250,000. Okay, then that hasn't been seconded.
Make a motion, are you gonna
Wait
make
a
a
minute,
motion?
wait a minute,
Or just have to do
wait a
it?
minute. Mr. Mark, can you approach? Oh, okay, all right. Thank you very much. So I'm gonna take this back and I'm gonna say that this will be the revised budget. I don't know the exact amount that's being reduced without doing calculations in my head. So personnel services would be $200,092. Pension and OPEB would be $94,619. Supplies and operating expenses is $49,000 for a total budget allocation of $343,711. And I so move. So it's been moved by Councilwoman Whiteworth, supported by Councilman Liang, Ward to amend the budget to $343,711. Go ahead.
I will not be supporting this. I will only be supporting putting it at the charter minimum of $250,000. To me, we haven't got a report on the Ombudsman office since our tenure began. They haven't had a ombudsperson there. To me, I think there's a legal discussion on whether the administration can even hire, because it's a conflict, because they are, how can they hire for, I understand, for any of the positions, for the analyst positions. We shouldn't be posting analyst positions, that should come from the ombudsperson. So how can the administration hire for analysts when we don't even have an ombudsperson? The ombudsperson should handle the hiring of the analyst once the EAB decides whatever it is. So to me, it should be a minimum at $250,000, and once they get an ombudsman, that ombudsman can come before us with a plan on how they're going to do anything. So, Madam Chair, I applaud your wanting to cut analyst positions, but to me, that whole ombudsman office is a no-show job that nothing comes out of it. I don't want to speak derogatory because there's nobody there to speak derogatory about. I think people make complaints and they get stored away till maybe Christ comes back. I don't know. But to me, the EAB is derelict in their duties in hiring an ombudsperson. So maybe we should sue them. But this right here will not get a vote for me. It's mandated by charter for $250. Until they get an ombudsperson, there's nobody there to tell me budget-wise why they need $343,000. So to me, this is the administration trying to run the ombudsman's office by giving us any amount more than $250. So to me, that is a direct.
Point of information.
Yes, ma'am.
The EAB actually developed their own.
Well, they don't have authority to hire.
No, they came before us.
But I understand that, but they don't have the authority to, where does the EAB present the ombudsman's office? That's nowhere to be. I understand they came, and great for coming, but how much effort did you put into this budget numbers, and should that then have directed to actually hiring an ombudsperson? So to me, it's $250 minimum, or this amendment doesn't get my vote.
Any other discussions?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
I do not be for anything other than what the charter mandates, and the city of Flint, it shouldn't be an HR. Because that selection process, when it first started, when the charter was adopted, the HR did not go through and filter for an ombudsman. That was not the process. The process went through, every application went through and was given to the Ethics and Accountability Board. And I'm not supporting anything other than the $250,000. They are in violation. I don't even know how they're hearing anything that's, any complaints, because the charter clearly states the process that it goes through to the ombudsman. The ombudsman then handles complaints over to the board. And they have not had what they consider to be a qualified ombudsman since October 2022. So they shouldn't be processing anything, making any recommendations, because they are in violation of the city charter. I'll only be supporting the $250,000, which is mandated by the charter. I yield the floor.
Any other discussion in the first round?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
So during budget hearings, when they were here in front of us to discuss the ombudsperson's office and the staff that is currently in the office and the work that is currently being done, which during budget hearings, they made it clear that basically no work is being done. And so I am in total agreement that unless this goes down to the $250 that is mandated in the charter, I will not support any other amendment. This won't even get a vote for me if it's anything other than the $250. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussions? Any other discussion? I'll take some time. You know, I agree with you guys on the $250,000. I absolutely do. I've never been a big fan of this department. I requested a report. In the 3.5 years we've been on council, we have not received a single report from the EAB. And Mr. Harris and I had a discussion, and I read him the charter that he thought it says may, and I said, no, it says shall. And you may offer improvements. It's not, it says you shall report to us annually. So I have no problem to change it, and I'll still move to change to amend to a total of $250,000. I don't know how that would be broken out. But can we do the motion as amended per the finance department because of wages and benefits have to match. Yeah, it's $250 total, but it has to be split up between wages and pension and. Go ahead.
Do we need that information, or do we just do the total?
That's what I'm asking, Mr. Moore.
I believe it's in the charter that talks about how you adopt the budget. It specifies you have to at least have between personnel services and supplies and operating. The pension that can be rolled in the salaries, but the other categories is what you have to do. I can come up with an allocation for you at the next, next time we want to meet, we can have something for you then.
So, Madam Chair, you make a motion to 250 total.
Yep. Yep. That is my motion, making a motion to change to amend it to $250 and with the details to be forthcoming. Okay, moved and properly seconded by the councilwoman. Why do I want to call you councilwoman, Mr. Viper? Councilman in the 8th ward. Is there any other discussion? Any other discussion? Hearing none, this is the vote to amend Ombudsman's the charter mandated amount of $250,000.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Vote is 6 yes, 0 no.
The vote is 6 yes, 0 no. That amendment passes. Are there any other amendments? Any other amendments?
Well, Madam Chair.
First round. Yeah, we can, in the second round. Go ahead, Mr. Pfeiffer, you had another one?
Somebody else can go ahead.
Anyone else?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
Here to Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore, the law department has had their increases considerable. I don't know, what was their budget back in 2019?
I don't have that with me, but I can easily get that. I can get you, all the information from 2019 to present.
Because last year we spent, was it how much did we, do you have your? We wasted a lot of money. I think even including the case against me, when I was illegally removed, was 61,000 or 63,000 using blood soap. So can you find out how much did they spend last year? I'm sorry that we're doing these one by one. Do you have that?
For, in the last fiscal year, we spent, $1,277,717.
How much, that we spent how much?
$1,277,717.
Is that check registered back online?
Pardon?
The check registered back online?
It's not online, but it's available in the finance department.
What does that mean?
If you wanna look at it, stop by and you can have it.
I have to make a meeting to.
I don't necessarily need to have a meeting, but it's available.
I need to schedule a time or
Just show up.
just show up? Okay, I don't wanna show up at a bad time.
Okay.
Now, so we can't, so it's not available online anymore. So to show up, we use written copies of everything. And so showing up means we can't get a copy.
We don't, it's a problem to put it online because, that when there are hackers and scammers out there that have been, trying to scam us and scam our vendors. It makes it very difficult.
What's your request?
So, Ms. Burns, we can't get an email?
I've asked about the past 3 months, 4 or 5, I don't know, it's been a long time. I've asked numerous times, because it hasn't been us since June 24, and I have not received, I've asked to have all of us email the copy. Why didn't we get a copy, because I've asked? Was it above you?
We're very concerned about having any of that information electronically because it has a tendency.
Yeah, but I'm not a hacker.
We really don't want the hackers to get it.
I have just as much right to it as you do. Right. And I've asked, and I mean, I'm not, until I see that, and that's, okay, I'm not supporting this budget with that as important.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Any other?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
Mr. Moore, are you saying that our email is insecure?
I'm not happy about ransomware attack we have. I think it's as secure as we can make it, but I would rather not, certain information I'd rather not.
Because we get other sensitive information via email, all the time. So I just want to be clear. Do we have a security issue with our email?
I think we have as secure as we can get it, but we know that this is an object that the hackers are trying to get away with.
So us getting a list of the check number and the recipient of the amount is a detriment to the city?
We've had people call up and try to impersonate the vendors, trying to get us to change their information so that we send the money or send the check to the wrong spot. That's not. we've had several of those in one week. I don't think we had one this week, but we have had quite a few attacks like that. We've even had people try to change their
I
play.
understand that, but you're saying that sending it to council members, that information would get out from a council member about the check registry, and they would hack our emails.
Public information.
Maybe, probably being very cautious, but, just, looking at the threat we have, I just feel it's safer to, provide you, if you want to come in, we'll give you a copy.
Because, by FOIA laws, and the attorney can correct me, by FOIA laws, I can FOIA it and get it, so, but we don't have to FOIA things as a council member, so why can't we get an email? So, Mr. Moore, Ms. Donahue, can you send an email to Mr. Moore? And I've done this already, but I want to officially request the check register ever since it's been taken down offline from online. Now, Madam Clerk, can you send that to them so we can put this on the record, even though you have the same email from me previously? I want to make sure that they're, so, since I'm gonna lose my time, Madam Chair, can we make a motion to have additional rounds now? Because this is the second round, there's no third round, so.
Yeah.
How do we make a motion?
Make a motion.
I'll make a motion to have 5 more rounds? And so, of a 3-minute round.
3 minutes only. There's a motion on the floor to add 5 rounds of 3 minutes. There's support.
Support.
It's moved and properly seconded by the councilman and the board to have 5 additional rounds of 3 minutes each. This is the vote. Ms. Barnes?
Yes.
Ms. Michelle?
No.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Mr. Terry?
Yes.
Lewis?
No.
Ms. Priestley? Vote is 3 yes, 3 no? Vote is 3 yes, 3 no. Mr. Pfeiffer? You had your 3 minutes, okay. Is there any other discussion? Any other amendments? Mr. Pfeiffer? Point of, I wasn't gonna go.
Clyde, y'all turn the heat up a little
We can do it again if we need to.
Turn it up a little bit. I'm a taxpayer resident now, it's a little cold.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we add 3 rounds of 3 minutes.
There's a motion on the floor to add 3 rounds of 3 minutes each. Is there support?
No.
And supported by Councilman Kate for this vote. Ms. Michelle?
Yes.
Pfeiffer? Mr. Jarrett? Mr. Lewis?
You gotta go to the bathroom.
Ms. Priestley? Yes. Ms. Burns?
That ain't easy to sit there and get here.
Dr. Lewis?
She said she about to leave.
Okay, so that's,
I'm done, Madam Chairman.
What about the citizens? The work of the citizens? The people?
Don't care about us.
They left y'all. No, she ain't going back. She leaving like you, she said. She going. I knew y'all still here, but she leaving. She mad.
should be out the door.
I should be kicked out of the building.
She's big, man.
Yeah. So apparently I should be kicked out of the building. We don't understand the First Amendment, I guess.
It's pretty fucked up.
It is. You think they serve the people, huh?
Freedom of speech is still alive.
Religion,
Deal with
press
it.
petition, speech. You know what comes after that, don't you? The right of the people to keep the form.
I think she needs to find a box of tissue for her
To a
issues.
free and secure state.
She's so,
I've been waiting for an hour.
Yeah.
she's
Shit, dude,
so
it's been going
angry.
forever. That's a
Are
long
they
meeting.
taking a break now?
I don't know what the hell they're doing.
This meeting is adjourned.
Oh yeah, the meeting's adjourned. Okay. Okay, now that the meeting's adjourned, I can go up there with this, right? Because I want to talk to the attorney. Okay.
Okay, so anybody, their name is
Attorney Wallace?
Yep. It's so close.
Whoever they is, they all that DBA downtown, fucking that trucking, they all they do is back and play basketball together. What is up, what is up? Fucking that truck. They doing the work, you don't see what these boys, these up, what is up?
Can I speak with you, Mr. Attorney?
Yeah, you can, what?
Now, didn't that rule say in every instance that it had to be freestanding?
I gave my legal opinion, and that's
But
the
isn't
legal
that,
opinion.
can I get a copy of that?
I gave my legal opinion.
But can I get a copy of
No,
that?
I'm not the person who want to get a copy of it.
Who would I get a copy of that
If
for?
you want to, if you need a copy of what the council rules are, you either need to go online or see the clerk. Now, if I appreciate it if you don't, or anybody with a camera, when I'm over here working, not stand behind me because, there's,
I wasn't standing behind you. I wasn't standing behind
I don't know
you.
if it was you, but somebody was with a camera. But anyway, no, that's my legal opinion. I know everybody don't agree. The Supreme Court don't agree on everything, right?
Right.
But I call balls and strikes. That's all I do.
All right.
And somebody's gonna be happy, somebody's not gonna be happy.
I mean, if you
One
guys
day-
really want to get
one-
some
one day
paperwork.
you're gonna be here, and the question's gonna come up, and you'll be happy. You know what I mean?
I don't want to have to file a lawsuit, but I mean, if that's the way you want to play it.
Well, you can. I would, hope that you wouldn't, but that's why.
Well, I mean, you're violating my rights.
No, I didn't.
Oh, absolutely.
No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah. Yep. By telling me I can't have my camera supported in my hand, that's a violation of my rights. They kick me back there where I can't hear or see shit,
Yep.
even with this zoomed in.
Nobody's stopping you from having your camera holding it. Nobody's stopping you from doing it. You can sit there in your seat and hold your
I
camera.
can't stand there and hold the
But-
damn camera for 4 hours.
But the intent of the of the resolution is for people not to have devices that support the cameras. If you got something like that, then you got to go back in the corner. If you want to sit here with your camera in your hand and film, then you can find you're free to do that. But
what if it's a little handheld thing that just like a handle for your camera?
I don't know. I'm getting into all that. All I'm saying is, I made my call. I'm sorry if you don't agree with it, but that's my call.
Enjoy the paperwork. Dumbass fucking lawyer. I told the lawyer to enjoy his fucking paperwork that I'm going to serve him.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Hey, where's your other?
I don't know where it is.
Right there on my behind.
No, he didn't see it. He wasn't paying attention. He said he didn't even notice.
The two angry ladies.
Can you come here?
Both of them. Angry as hell.
I just want to make sure that you all are watching. We're being filmed for no reason, and y'all just stay here.
No, that shit's funny. No, that was funny. I guess I got to come here every day and record all through this fucking building.
I wish they was here. When I do a medical pickup for my son and I hear him now, I wish they come back fast. They don't.
True, right?
They don't. They never even show up.
No, there's no more here.
It's open. They don't real officers just got real.
They only come to councilwomen vendors.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Amazing.
That man right there should be out. He should be out getting real criminals. Instead, he's in here because they're worried about all their tired shit and these people getting pissed. Oh, I'll go down there.
You can't leave you behind.
Well, we gotta take Matt too.
Steve, you in here too.
No, I'm good. I'll go on the next one. No, we're good.
All right.
Alright, see, I told you.
This is Matt. He's got a YouTube channel called the Michigan Constitutional Crusader. He goes around and does this shit fucking professionally. He's done it for years. That's why Mundy Township was terrified. He sued them for $95,000 and walked right back in their shit.
No, that was the city of Corona.
Oh, City of Corona.
I got the chief of police fired too. 3 days after he falsely arrested me. Yep.
Did you know that?
What's that?
He made an ordinance that if we go down in the parking garage where they park at, we get arrested.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, you can't go in the city park.
So it's not open to the public at all now?
Oh, it is.
Well, they can restrict it as long as it's properly posted.
Oh, well. They posted it by the elevator.
So if it's properly posted, they can restrict it and say it's for like employees only or whatever.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Does this go in here?
So what's
Yep.
properly posted? Where at?
Where's the other part?
It's in my under my office.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be funky, maybe.
It's melting. It's melting.
I love RL. Oh, fucking dude, that guy is great.
All right, I'm going to end this now.